show that I'm streaming? Yeah. I actually link people to my YouTube channel. Something YouTube's annoying about is to get a. Oh my god, we have 2 days of StarCraft to watch. Okay, see how this link works. Just see my desktop. Well, here, I'm probably gonna see. I already watched one of the games. I mean, did that stream link work? Oh, did I post it in general? Fuck. Oh, yeah, that's just the title is wrong. Title. I can fix that. Yeah, I'm gonna move it onto the other screen. Give me a second. Mhm. Okay, give me another second. I'm figuring all this out. Okay, fuck. I remember what the fuck gets passed to what. Okay, so I don't want any of this going to. I only want
show sparks of brilliance here and there. A lot of people speak highly of him from his practice games, his ladder games, stuff like that. Also, his best performance to date was in a super tournament, right? We generally... Now, Protoss is incapable of winning a top-tier tournament. 4 years it's been now, but...
Yeah, they are still the strongest race in OP, right? Go ahead.
100%.
I have the talking points.
Yeah.
I have the talking points down.
But in super tournament, we generally have Protosses deliver a lot more, right? Super tournament generally has Protosses dominating it.
Hero comes to mind.
Oh,
as
absolutely.
One.
Yeah.
We've had many that have done very well.
Yeah, like SOS, Classic, you know, Hurricane has a great one that he did.
Right.
Yeah, it's I don't know exactly why that is, and I mean we've come up with theories and stuff, but I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe today is Hurricane's day.
So the Reaper's going to come and do a little bit of harass.
Oh, he gets the gas! Oh, he still gets killed.
2 kills there and the Reaper escapes. That's actually pretty big.
Yeah, that's really nice. That is about what you can get with a Proxy Reaper. A couple pro kills.
I don't mean to be too grim here, but I'm curious if Hurricane's going to be taking any games here. TY is in such good form, and he seems to really have mapped out larger series better than others.
Well, I mean, it's best of 5. I could definitely see him taking a game tasteless, yeah. Yeah, man.
Another probe's going to go down. This one.
Oh, why you hate Hurricanes?
I love Hurricane. That's one of my favorite weather conditions. Don't say that.
That's one of your favorite weather conditions. It's like one of the scariest ones.
Yeah, that's why I like it so much.
Did you know? Okay, I don't know if you knew this, but I just learned this. Because you come from Kansas. So have you like seen a tornado?
I've actually never seen a tornado in person.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's actually rare.
Are you really from Kansas City?
No, I'm from New York. No, I've been lying about that.
Full of shame.
I've been lying about that for a long time to try to fit in here. No, I've never seen a tornado actually. We did have tornado drills, like there'd be alarms going off. We have the bathtub, and I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
And that was also during when the movie Twister came out, which I was young enough to.
Well, that's why
back on me.
that movie. That is the reason why I always wear a belt now.
Oh yeah.
Like
that movie's so stupid. They're like, oh, there's an F3 tornado. Now there's an F4 tornado. Over there's an F5 tornado. I'm like, this lines up pretty damn well for the story, doesn't it?
Oh man. By the way, that micro from TY, outstanding. Outstanding. To just wreck all those units. There's a couple of CVs, but gets those kills. Going across the map with this drop. Drops off those Hellions. Looks like he wants to use the grenade bounce here.
Oh, this is sick.
Oh,
faking him out. Look at me, I'm dropping you.
Oh, he didn't buy it at all.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
LOL.
He goes in the main. He's like, I dropped you anyways.
He's like, look, I wanted to trick you. You don't want me to trick. That's fine. We're still going in.
Okay.
Doesn't really get that much done though. Yeah, that was good defense.
For all the cool concepts that play here for that attack, that actually didn't do enough. He definitely lost more units. It didn't pay for himself.
Yeah, it was a great call from Hurricane, right? Like, yeah. The thing is, the medevac never comes in from that angle, and it never comes in unboosted.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like it was just a good call from him to not move the Stalkers. Now, back to what I was saying, which is what's actually important here. I just recently learned, you know, the weather condition that causes a hurricane, and what causes a tornado. Yeah, the government with their silver pellets. It's the same one. It's just a tornado is a hurricane that forms over land.
Yeah, I knew that.
You knew that?
Yeah.
How did you know that? And I only just learned that.
Because I'm from Kansas. We actually talk about it in school and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, that's okay.
Why didn't you tell me that? I would have been interested.
I was waiting for the right moment to really impress you.
You were waiting for the right moment. Tell me that tornadoes are hurricanes that form over land?
Yeah. There's something else we're casting. I was like, never mind. We're casting. I don't think it's the right time.
I have nothing but regret. Why didn't you tell me? Okay. Void Ray and a bunch of Stalkers over here now. Let's see what Hurricane can get done.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to do much. I think if he blinks in, he's just going to get wiped out. But I like.
Well, by the time his blink is done, TY is going to be maxed out. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool pokes on both sides. Hurricane is taking his third now. And we'll see. I mean, it looks like TY is setting up to possibly do a push, unless he takes the third in a little bit here.
Yeah. TY, like, he's looking strong. He's kind of deflected everything. Of course, his little attack didn't end up working out, but it seems like he's still kind of in control of the game. You know, like, even though, like, what he has done hasn't worked all the way, there's not, like, a hole here, right? Like, Hurricane hasn't been able to punish, and that makes me worried for him. It's like, are you going to keep up as more and more things start happening on the map against TY?
It does seem like with the modern best Terrans, a lot of it is, can you actually keep up?
Yeah,
or they just flatten you.
They're multitasking so crazy and everything.
Yeah. So he's going to back up now. Now this is the initial push coming up here. He's going to try to tear down the rocks. This is to make a cleaner straight line for reinforcements coming across the map. Of course, Stim isn't done just yet, so this is a very smart move to just clear this out and then inch in here. We're about 5 seconds out from finishing here now. These Stalkers aren't going to do enough to buy any real time. Siege tanks are not going to be forced to be sieged. In fact, Protoss does need to be careful because you can end up exhausting a lot of your blinks and really not have done that much. Is he going to go for the second wave of rocks? I guess not.
Man, really pushing back here. Pretty good micro overall, though. Now, Charge not done, though.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, is like he might be able to hit and do way more damage, but it's hard to confirm that until you're actually close enough to see that it's coming forward. And the map can get a little bit fuzzy when you're in a game that's gone on for this long. Oh, okay, he takes out the Raven, but the auto turrets are going to give a safe landing spot for these Marines and Marauders to hop over the mineral wall here. Takes out the battery. Now it's just Stalkers. There's still one pylon for Warpins here. Oh, hold on.
Oh, he's kind of splitting his units in a little bit of a funny way. Yeah, kind of a weird split overall. I feel like if Hurricane did that perfectly, he wrecks everything TY has here.
Yeah, well, also, I feel like the idea of what TY was doing was cool, but the numbers were just not there.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, it was a good tactic, but
yeah.
Hurricane, like, if you clear that perfectly, like, if it's stats going up against that set of units with what Hurricane had, I think he loses almost nothing and kills it all, you know?
Yeah.
Probably picks off the medevacs as well. Like, it's everything.
Well, this really allows Hurricane to seesaw back into action. There is no third base for Terran. Terran did lose a lot of important assets. I mean, Medic Marauder, is expendable, but the medevacs and tanks are much less. So the fact that Protoss can put pressure on here, as long as there's not an overextension, I think this is pretty good. Protoss is going to take the 4th base here, keeping a little bit of a lead.
I feel like he needs to get into splash damage pretty quickly here, though.
I agree. But he may actually mount an attack here. I mean, there's a big warp in here. It looks like he's decided he might just have enough, and he may be correct on that. In fact, with the SCVs being pulled here, this beautiful arc of Stalkers over here.
But TY's going to hold this.
Yes, but already 30 SCVs have been killed.
Yeah,
and I think actually another
true.
Zealot warp, and they target down these mines. I don't know if he's watching. He gets neither. Can he blink away? Yes, he can.
Oh, yeah, very good blinks right there.
Great moves there. The worker count is now 32 to 55. I think you're right. I think TY is going to just barely hang on here, but that's enough worker kills.
Yeah,
he did. He got respected.
He got good worker kills, but he does have 3 orbitals, right? And let's take a look. Like, we have +1 about to finish for Hurricane. No splash damage. I want to see his actual gateway count right now. Like, he lost his entire army, you know, and he doesn't have splash damage to kind of back this up. So when we go to actually slightly smaller army sizes, and the fact that the medevacs all lived, TY's army is of much higher quality.
I agree.
So, yeah, he killed a lot of SCVs, but I think TY actually has an opportunity here to do a ton of damage.
It's going to be really important tech units, too, here for Hurricane if he's going to hold on. And the fact that he is going to try to fly into the main and drop Zealots means he might actually end up losing the fight in the front. And I think there's enough reinforcements that are just being organically pumped out of the base here.
Oh, TY turns around, though.
Yeah. Okay.
I think this is the winning move now.
Yeah, I actually thought that TY was going to decide to go for it, but instead he is going to take this fight over here. And this gives Hurricane plenty of time to try to solidify his defenses back at home.
Yeah, this, like, for TY to win the game now, after turning around here, because now his opportunities for damage are basically gone, right? Like, he has to clean this up, the prison's going to get away, and, like, he can walk back across the map, but this bought infinite time for Hurricane. So I didn't like that call, actually. If he went and tried to clear that with reinforcements, I mean, it's hard, but there was, like, no units at home for Hurricane, right? It was not as strong as the army that TY had fielded, so maybe we could have gotten a weird base trade. We'll see if TY can fight back from here now.
Okay, Hurricane now going to take a fight right here in the middle. And I love this attack here from behind. Look at that. The Zealot's hitting there. Stalker's blinking in. And this army is not going to be here for much longer. He may try to get away. It looks like he'll be just barely outlasting the Stalker blink. And Hurricane is making all the right necessary steps to close out a win here. The Zealots coming in harassing. Now, TY has done an incredible job of remaking workers, but if Hurricane keeps forcing his worker count to plummet over and over, I mean, you can remake as many workers and army units as you want. It's going to be hard to get a 4th. In fact, I think we may have the main command center for TY pick up and float over to a 4th base. I think it's going to be one of those games.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. He cannot afford another command at any point. But let's see if he can even live through this for now. A huge blink over to the side here. Some good micro from TY, but with 3 Immortals in there, Guardian Shield going up. This is a very tough thing to hold.
Yeah. Okay, he's going to try to come through here. SCV is coming down. Now, there's no War Prison to pick up these Immortals just yet. And so, literally all the Immortals are picked up. I feel like had he done a little bit of a better job, he would have actually had GG there. But maybe Hurricane can still close this out as more Zealots come through now. 14 workers in this game. I think we're going to have GG. Hurricane looks like he should be able to take game 1. There it is. Yeah, GG.
All right, very, very nice game out of Hurricane.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta hand it to him. He took the victory. It looked like TY was playing a very solid game overall. The attack that came up that got the SCVs, that was nice. And then, you know, the counter with the Zealots, the big warp in, I stand by the fact I think that TY should have just attacked. He was already halfway across the map.
Like, he might have lost anyways, but I certainly don't see how going back and cleaning that up after taking the losses is going to...
Because you're going to take more losses on your way home.
Yeah.
But then also, any chance of damage is gone.
Protoss is literally only losing mineral units and all their gas is going into the technical tech that allows you to defend and then attack later on.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Can't say any better than that. So I think that was a mistake from TY there. But you know what? Hurricane leads 1-0 in the best of 5.
Very excited. Yeah, very excited. We may have an upset here. I really thought TY would just crush Hurricane, but Hurricane's looking very strong. We're going to go to death over here for game 2. It's either going to be tied up 1-1 or Hurricane will have a 2-0 lead, which would be huge.
Game start. Africa Freaks, TY. Hurricane.
Tasteless.
What's up, buddy?
Nothing yet. Tasteless were at the beginning of the StarCraft 2 game.
It's my favorite part of the StarCraft 2 game right at the start. So, yeah, we saw Hurricane.
You think if we started with 16 SCVs, that we wouldn't have this?
I think what we need to do is start with 24 SCVs, a depot, and a command center at the expansion.
No, I think we need army on both sides. We need 4 Blink Stalkers and then 8 Marines and a medevac, and then we see where it goes.
Can you imagine?
So funny. All right.
We need to make it even weirder. It's like the Protoss gets a Colossus.
And there's a landed Viking that can't lift off for the first minute.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I imagine with as vast as the internet is, that argument's already been made somewhere on a forum.
Yeah. All right. Jesus, what have you been doing since the last GSL?
I've been streaming because I can't leave my house because we're under lockdown here in Seoul.
I know, it's back.
Yeah, I love being in lockdown. When they told me everything in the city would be closed, I said, yeah! I love that.
I live for that.
I live for that. Good. That just means more people are trapped inside watching my stream. No, but I mean, I've just been staying at home. You know, I just moved, so kind of fixing up the home.
Yeah.
And then
I love your house.
I got a
your address is
1337 Gosu Street. Yeah.
on the top of Tasos Hill.
Yeah, right past Stasis Lane. I got a new streaming PC. I got the RTX 3090. So I can play. That's like the strongest graphics card ever. So I can play remastered with the highest settings, and it doesn't mess
I thought
up.
that was one of the short circuit robots. I'm sorry. I'm not.
No. Yeah, you thought that was one of the Imperial robots, right? No.
Like, oh, is that the one that Obi-Wan got the message from? Tasos?
Yes, that's exactly
cool,
the one,
you
yeah.
nerd.
Yeah. So I've been doing. What about you? What have you been doing since we haven't had Code S for a little bit?
Nothing at all.
Nothing?
I went to sleep in a coffin and woke up for today.
They froze you.
I saw you yesterday.
They froze you until today when they let you out, and here you are now.
Well, we have a little bit of some sneakiness going on here, Tasos.
Yep.
We have a proxy robo, several gates being made. The Reaper going to come out. Let's see what it gets scouted.
Now, let's not forget TY actually did a pretty good job with the Reaper early on. Getting some kills here. Doesn't look like we have anything like that just yet here.
He gets a pretty full scout off with that Reaper. And, I mean, he can look at that and say, there are things missing.
Yeah, that's important to know.
Yeah, notice he's darting down. He goes past where the third would be. He checked both locations that a third could be at.
Wow, he just spots it. We don't have it on camera here, but he does.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he just saw it. Yeah.
Wow, that's a big deal.
I do like the strategy, though, from Hurricane. And honestly, seeing it, I don't know if this is enough time to react. I mean, the Immortal's already walking across the map.
All right, it is coming up right now. The Hellion checking him. The Bunker's just not ready yet.
Yeah.
If he loses this Immortal, that is going to be brutal.
Well, he's doing a really good job so far.
That micro on the ramp. He goes below where he can see him, then has to walk up and takes a million hits.
Yeah, I saw that. He won't kill the SCV in time. The bunker's done, but the bunker's more of a stopgap. He may actually elevator that. Yeah, here we go. He's going to elevator this into the main now. There's a bunker done, but I don't see Marines in there just yet. Nice force field on the ramp. Absolutely sick. Marines do manage to get inside. I believe the Viking will be killed before it can take out the War Prism. The War Prism's there. I don't know what the HP is, but I believe it's in the red.
It's definitely taking a bit of damage. Okay, it's in the orange. Fool, I can't believe you thought it was in
I know.
red.
I really put myself out on the line there. It's Halloween colors, not Christmas colors this time around. But I think TY actually holds. It was a good attack. I mean, I don't think Protoss is in huge trouble right now, but this is inconvenient having fork attack here. The harass will continue on. The main on this map isn't that big, so there's like not a lot. There's not a lot of places you can kind of try to do a ton of damage. Look at this guy.
Very good micro.
Look at this gamer.
Yeah, no, he gamed the hell out of that person.
These guys game or what?
My God, how quick does his fingers have to move across his iPhone screen to do that?
Okay, he's gonna come back in.
Oh, look at this Dark Shrine.
That's
follow-up.
cool.
That's an interesting choice.
He's gonna get the tank here. Oh,
he wants to
first
so
shot from
badly.
the Immortal. He is just. Oh! I was about to say he was really cutting it close with that War Prism.
He flew a bit too close to the sun,
just like
which is
did.
TY's old idea.
What?
Wasn't he known as by sun?
I think you're right. Yeah.
Okay.
I was like Icarus. I'm like, no, that's not him at all.
Oh wait, no, that was Rage. By sun.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just start the cast over. You know, we were doing fine. Hey,
Right,
cut it. Tell the players to stop.
I'm rusty. I need to get the rust off.
Artos is like looking at the map right now. He's like, now the blue stuff is the land, right? I'm like, no, that's the water. Okay, so this is important because this is a key tech. Robotech is essential for Protoss to last through the mid game here, and I don't think this army can really be stopped. So the pylon's going to be killed, and the tech is shortly after that.
Wow, why is he?
He's like, I'm going to make sure.
Oh, yeah, more units come down. All right, let's do
Oh, he's looking at the tank.
Oh, the auto turret definitely helping out a lot right there. The siege tank getting a ton of extra hits. Finally, he's going to end up picking that off. Pushes everything back. Saves his buildings.
Did TY overextend there? And will this be... Oh, yeah, that's right. You can power those with that. This is great. He can actually pump out another observer. I was expecting him to actually push forward and start to warp it and try to attack, but this is even better.
Tasos, when I see that, my brain goes haywire. I see a warp prism powering a robo. I'm like, how did that happen? The chicken or the egg? Like, what?
Can anybody explain how this occurred?
How did you get a prism to power that? It doesn't make sense!
Oh, my God. It's good to be back, guys.
It is. It is. Oh, my God. I missed you, Tasos.
Yes, we're back. I like this. The Archon over here on the tank.
That's not immortal.
Yeah.
What is going on?
When I saw it, I thought, oh, maybe that just kills that really fast. I was like, no.
Well, when I see an Archon drop out of a warp prism, I hear, whether they're there or not, I hear queen shots.
Yeah, I hear Zergling's dying. That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Okay, there is a turret over here. Is he going to fly right through it?
Oh,
he
yeah.
is.
He's going to do it right there.
Now, it's low on HP. I feel like this is a fairly inconsequential drop. He'll be able to save the Archon, but again, that damage on the hull of the War Prism is permanent, so he's going to have to be careful. That may not be an effective harass tool later on if there are turrets or Marines on standby. And I think this is where we're going to finally have some closure for TY on this proxy location. This is going to be picked off. But I think Hurricane's had a lot of pretty impressive plays here. The question is he going to be able to withstand the attack that is inbound here from TY. And TY, by the way, wasting no time, not even going to kill the gateway, as it's already unpowered.
We'll see if that bites him in the butt.
Yeah, later on when one zealot, I guess it doesn't even matter, he just makes a pylon there, and the one zealot that's warped in the main actually saves the fight.
When it's a base trade and all the other buildings are dead, and he forgets there was a gateway down there.
Yeah.
I love this constant harassment that we're seeing. Like, he's flying in every time that TY leaves the base.
Yeah, this is great. Now is he going to get the Warp Prism here? He's targeting that.
Ooh!
It is out.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, a
getting
big drop over here.
Oh, he has Psystorm, though. Oh, beautiful. Psystorm goes down.
But there's still so many auto turrets here, making a pretty good concave around this small Protoss army. Sunderstone Micro coming forward to kill his Archon before these red zealots, red Marines that have been hit here.
I tell you what, the auto turrets from TY so far this series have been amazing. They've been saving him in so many fights.
Ooh, this is getting a little bit scary. TY starting to win on this front. It's not a lot. It will eventually be cleaned up here by Hurricane, but how much more is going to be lost here? He does pick up. He's going to relocate, moving outside of the main, possibly merging up with this army. We have a camera shot of over here.
Yeah, and while we've seen some great moves from Hurricane this game, like, what does he actually have going on? He's about to have Blink, but he has no Stalkers. And then he has some High Templars with Storm. And that's basically it for him. He doesn't have a whole lot going on. We don't have a Prism, we don't have a Robo.
TY going to have to back off. Now, as time passes, the economy from Hurricane is pretty good, but I feel like the army here that we're seeing from... Oh, that's a good catch. The army here from TY, depending on where it goes with this drop, could do a lot of damage. He's going to go back into the main. There is some important tech here. Getting rid of the Cybernetics core is actually a pretty big deal at this phase of the game.
Well, you do a recall here.
Yeah.
You got it, right?
Well, he hasn't done it yet. Okay, he is going to do it. He gets the Nexus.
Hey, good Storm. He can kill all these medevacs, I think.
Well, did he blink forward?
He did. He did. And he got like one only. Not sure how TY got out with that much.
Yeah, that was a little bit weird. He is going to deny this command center, which is going to put TY in a very specific place developmentally in this game. You know, a lot of times the command center is not made there, so it can actually safely complete. But he does get the denial up there. But again, is the army now from Hurricane a little bit too squishy?
I think the answer is probably yes here. Look at that. All the Mind Squad, the Zealots just absolutely evaporate. There are a good amount of Blink Stalkers here now, but look at the amount of Marauders that we have over on TY's side. He has to turn around, blinks away, brings up the High Templars.
Now the Templars are going to be key for damage here. The Templars have to do the initial damage with the Storms, and then the Stalkers clean up the rest, if it's enough. And that's why the spread is so important. I did a little bit more damage than I thought, but I think overall, there might just be too many infantry units here. In fact, I think there's no more Storms available.
Yeah, and EMP did end up hitting there as well, so very, very painful. He's trying to fight, and he's taking the best fight I think he can, but it's not going to be enough, and TY is definitely going to even this one up.
GG, 1-1 now. That armor upgrade finishing just in time to really soak those Stalker shots and allow the infantry to have more sustain in the fight, closing it out. TY definitely sanding down the edges in his play from game one, playing a much cleaner game. And also, I think, great scouting, thwarted the Immortal Warp Prism push. He had, even though he spotted it, he had like 3.5 seconds to stop it. You know what I mean? Like, he saw the Immortal blocking, and that's it. So, great play. Hurricane, though, is making TY work for the series. Sure. And who knows? I mean, Hurricane has some room to make adjustments of his own. Things have evened out now. It's effectively a best of 3 with more intel on each side as far as play styles and approaches to the meta. We're going to go to Pillars of Gold now.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that TY is going to be able to zero in on how Hurricane's playing, so I hope that Hurricane has a little bit wider play range than what we've seen so far.
All right, guys.
Game start.
Team start. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Game start.
Game start.
Africa Freaks. TY. Hurricane.
Yeah, and what I mean by that, like, yes, there are different build orders and stuff that he's opening with, but overall the gist of what Hurricane is doing here is lean on your opponent pretty heavily and then just keep on using Warp Prisms as they move out. I mean, this is good fundamental play overall, but he's not, like, focusing on getting an overly high-quality army. It's more about, like, oh, I have a good amount of units right now. I've kind of hit you on the edges a whole bunch. And it's like a type of play where you have to get critical damage much earlier, right? The way he's playing, he won't get into the types of armies we see from Patience. He won't get into the late game that we see from Stats, right?
Yeah.
His play is not, it's not having that range as of yet. So that's something that TY can pick up on and start to play counter to, right? Like, if you know that he's flying in with a Prism, if you know that he's not on Double Forge, if you know that he's not going to be going for Colossus, these are very useful things that you can use to try to fight back.
So what adjustments can Hurricane actually make here? I guess that's what we need to ask ourselves this time around. I think that he was a little bit lackluster with some of his harass back there in Game 2. Did not do that much. I did like that he poked out the command center, the natural, but overall he just didn't seem to have the right tech to fight this. Does he need a Colossus?
Well,
This game, does he need that
the
kind
way
of
he's
splash?
playing, I don't think it's like it's a very different style to play a Colossus-based game than the types of games that he's playing. Right?
Yeah,
he's much more gateway-centric. He's trying to kill Terran before like critical masses, right? Like he's not utilizing splash damage as much, even though we did end up seeing Psystorm in that game. Yeah, it really has to do with what he's comfortable doing. You know, everyone has their own fingerprint in StarCraft. Everyone has their own style.
This is what makes RTS so great, is you can really see people express themselves in the game, and the sandbox element is what makes it so exciting. I mean, I'm not trying to knock on other esports, but I can't be that excited every time people go, he's going for the Baron after the fight. I'm like, okay, that's what you have to do. No, but I mean, it's so fun to have these different maps and then the different approaches in the meta, all that, and to see how that's going to be handled. TY does seem to be less choppy in Game 2 compared to Game 1. Seems like he
certainly worked out better.
It seems like he maybe overestimated himself a little bit. But this is a cool adjustment here, going for the starport this time around.
Yeah, that's good to see. And he goes Phoenix. Okay, I think this is going to be a very different type of game out of Hurricane. And I think that that's what I wanted to see, basically, was just switching around what he's doing. If you're not doing like this kind of almost tempo-esque style that he's been using so far, that is something that if TY has made adjustments, you're going to catch him with something like a Phoenix opener. Because generally a Phoenix opener is going to bring you into a macro game.
Here comes that first Hellion here. Do you think we should have the Hellion be able to jump up the...
Like the Reaper?
It's like
I think that if you
it's
throw
like a Rocket League car, it like flies up there.
Oh my gosh. That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You could use Hellions and they like jump up and hit the Tempest shots back at the Tempest. Now that's an esport.
That's an esport right there. I like that.
Oh my god.
So they,
if only we could get that on a cell phone.
finally.
Yeah.
At last. Gaming's finally here.
It's finally here.
I just need to have a game on the same device I use to watch people fight each other on Twitter. Then everything will be in one place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ugh, I hate having to stare at 2 screens.
It's too much.
It is.
It's too much.
Okay, so the Robo is coming down to third base as well. Yeah, he's taking a pretty darn quick third here off of a Phoenix opener. I think... Oh, and he's going Twilight right now. Okay, what are we looking at? This could be, like, I thought it might end up being something like a Phoenix Colossus. But the fact that he's getting the Twilight this quickly really points in a different direction. But something like this is generally really weak at, like, once mid-game is really flowing. You know, when TY gets that kind of critical mass of army where he's moving out with, 70 supply, 80 supply.
Yeah.
If you went 3 Phoenixes, into... like Stalkers or something, that's like a very weak army at that point. Now, he is going Armor and Charge. So, Phoenix Charge, this is something that, even at Charge's peak, and at Phoenix Adept peak, remember Phoenix Adept when that was a build?
Of course.
Zest was trying to use Phoenix Charge, and he has the most optimized builds in the world, and Charge did 8 damage on impact, and he still couldn't make it work. So I'm a little bit hesitant to think that Hurricane's going to make it work, but let's see. I'm open to new stuff like this.
For sure. 7 gates are about to finish.
That is a lot of gates.
Yeah, we have a push coming here, synced up with Stim to go. Let's see how much damage this can do. Now, the gates are going to be finishing just about when. It shows you how sharp this timing can be.
Yeah.
If the Protoss is just a few seconds late, they might actually miss out on the round of units. They could possibly hold this. Softening up the tank is actually a pretty big deal. A lot of times when the tanks are picked off, that's when things can spiral out of control. TY moving in here, I guess he's not going to go for a push, but this is pretty well disguised. I don't think that the medevacs were actually spotted, so the main may be completely exposed here. In fact, there is one pylon here. Oh my god, if only we had a turn for this to describe what this was.
Look at those tasteless piles he's trying to throw up. But
yeah,
they're late as they always are.
Oh my god,
oh
it's a complete blackout in the Protoss' base. The Marines are behind the mineral, so they're going to get premium positioning here. As the Archon comes in, he picks up. Meanwhile, down here, Immortal fighting and now taken out. And he can't warp in anything. He cannot warp in anything. We just saw the Robo unit picked off.
Look at his money, man. Someone's going to be like, wow, Hurricane can...
He couldn't spend his money. If I was about to spend money, how do you even get there? It's because you play Protoss.
All of his buildings are unpowered. What do you want him to buy?
Okay, finally, they're powered up. But again, production has been hiccuped pretty heavily.
Yeah.
An ambitious play here. Hurricane is going to try to push back in a counterattack. I don't know if this is the right move or not. We're going to see how many units are here from TY.
Hurricane missed so many warping rounds. It's impossible to imagine that he has enough to do damage to TY right now.
Well, it's also impossible to imagine that TY would not have missed a single beat here.
Yeah.
TY is so mechanically proficient. I mean, he comes up and he goes right back down here. Now, although Hurricane has survived that attack, I do believe this is one step in a series of steps where TY will probably get an executing blow-off. Because there was a lot lost there. Workers, Robo units, and TY is only going forward.
Yeah, and you see how Hurricane is following this up, right? He's getting +2 armor, which, I mean, you can't complain about that. Obviously, Templar Tech is there, so he's getting Psystorm. But it's that same type of army where it's like, this is not a super long game army. You have to get stuff done with this. And is he going to get that stuff done? TY has already kind of lived through the most dangerous part of this. And as long as he identifies what's going on, that this is not going to go into a late game type of army, that this is very, he's making a bunch of gateway units. You can just kind of turtle a little bit more, mass up a little bit more, get those critical masses where suddenly, 40 charge lots can't even all attack at the same time.
Yeah, great connections by those Widow Mines as Hurricane zones away the rest of those units. Where is TY's main army? I feel like we've seen a small army. Oh, I see it. Okay, it's coming up here towards the middle to defend his base.
He's got to be careful. He has his army split. He has army in the top left, he has army here, and then he has some at his rally points as well. And if he gets that cut in half, this is where Hurricane can get the damage in.
No setup here can actually fight the main Protoss army, so he needs to regroup. Now, these Zealots are going to be no longer useful once the rest of those infantry are taken out. He's going to warp in half on the high ground, half on the low. Actually, Hurricane can possibly take this fight. Let's see how the Psystorms are going to be.
Ooh!
Very good. Very, very good. Feedback there. And, okay, now what? Does he just run for it? Does he book it out of here? There's still Zealots killing SCVs in 2 locations. And this army is still here. In fact, he may even want to unload, and warp it again. I like this a lot.
Yeah, he's getting that damage done once again with this very mid-game centric type of army.
This is pretty sick, actually, because TY might just lose control of this game and die.
Yeah.
Like, Hurricane has just hit the right spots and done the right amount of damage and kept enough alive, especially with all the Archons here. Keep in mind, Storm, there it is. It's still available. And, of course, after the Storm's hit, the Archon Splash just pops those units like balloons.
Yeah.
But he's targeted this down well, not just the Warp Prison, but the Archon here too.
He's going to end up clearing everything out here. Yeah, he did lose a lot of SCVs once again. Now, he killed the Prism, which I think is the most important thing, right?
Well, that's how you end the rush, right?
Yeah, and also, how do you do the counterattack? How do you make him stay in his base? Oh, wow, there's still a Zealot in there killing SCVs.
Yeah.
That's crazy. There's so few SCVs left, 25, oh my god. But it's that same type of thing as before, right? Where the quality of the army of Hurricane has been greatly reduced, whereas TY's army is amazing right now.
That's true. There was it's a bit of a trade-off, right? The problem for TY is he has to do damage immediately.
He does. He needs to go across the map.
42 SCVs have been killed off.
His army is so much better, and you see there's a couple Zealots going around. Hurricane needs to slow TY down. He does. Like that. I mean, it's not a bad army that we're looking at, but mines plus kiting, throw an EMP down there. Look at that. I mean, beautiful. Look at how quickly he's chewing through these Zealots.
Okay.
Ooh, good storm, good storm. Oh, the Zealots doing some serious work there. A million mules here at the third base.
This is, again, all going to come down to this attack here from Terran. I don't know that Hurricane should be attacking into this.
Yeah,
I feel like he's
all
trying
he needs to do is live.
Yeah, he needs to just buy time. I feel like he's trying to end the game. I think he knows exactly what's happening, just like we're calling it here. Like, TY's taking so much damage, I think Hurricane's thinking, oh my god, if I just kill this army, get me into game 4.
Yeah, if he kills the army, that's true.
The
But
problem is he's actually hemorrhaging units in that process, and it's like, well, this is what TY wants you to do, man.
Indeed. Living through that is the most important thing. You really have to kind of hit a critical mass to try to hurt TY because his production is hiccuped a little bit, right? He's got to try to get his SCVs back and everything. While his army is better right now, his economy is not scaling towards the late game very well. Well, TY, did he get the amount of damage done that he needed done? I wouldn't really say so. Like, he definitely shaved a bunch of army off. He's recovering his economies up to 40 workers. Obviously, he's dropping a lot of mules. I think that, Hurricane's doing very well on upgrades right now. He's got 1-2. He's got his Side Storm. He's got his Charge Blink is on the way. It's actually kind of turning into an interesting game here. And I could have sworn that I saw Colossus tech. I don't know if he wants Disruptors or Colossus, but I definitely want to see Hurricane go into one of those if he's going to take this game.
Okay. Hurricane on the move now. In the middle of the map. Protoss has no fourth yet, but Protoss may have the muscle to actually squish Terran here. Let's see. Terran actually has a very good spread. That's important because Psystorm is what is oftentimes so devastating right at the onset of the fight. Great EMPs, though.
Yeah, awesome EMPs. Let's see these storms, though. These are going to be important. We'll look at that
That
split.
was the worst storm ever. That hit like one Marauder.
It was
okay,
a whip.
much better.
Yeah, good storm there. He does have the Vikings pushing back. Oh, my God, that Prism almost dead right now.
Look at this gauntlet Protoss has to run through to actually get anywhere. It's so hard. As long as Terran doesn't overextend, I think Terran actually just defends everything.
His army is a little bit higher quality, but
I think that
it's a very beefy Protoss army still.
Protoss is, I think, almost all in here. He's not expanding. He's just
pretty
powering
much.
up.
Look, it's 25 Zealots.
TY no doubt does have ambitions eventually to take a fourth here. Usually the Protoss is always taking one base ahead of the Terran, but not this time around.
He gets the Prism. That is a big, big deal. Oh my god, no more storms. He just morphed his last ones into an Archon. TY is going to clear this.
Yeah.
Oh, a flank of Zealots. That's a lot of Zealots on the flank. He has to get out of here now.
Where did those come from?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know. Where they
came from the
back
south
at home? Where they warped in back at home and then ran all the way up from the top of the map? I don't know.
Honestly, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. But now Terran has put himself in a position where he cannot defend the third, and Hurricane actually does have a shot here.
Wow.
Suddenly there's this arc that Terran can't actually get to.
Yeah.
SCV's running. Most of them picked off.
He's picking off a lot of the units. Like, TY's micro is very strong. He's showing the quality of his units.
I don't think there's energy on these maps.
Yeah.
GG,
Holy
Hurricane takes
crap.
it. Wow.
That was crazy,
That was awesome.
Because TY knew. He looked at that army. He's like, I've got it. And then those Zealots came out of nowhere tasteless.
That was so weird.
That was like that Game of Thrones thing where the dragon came up or whatever and saved everyone in one day.
Yeah. My favorite part is where the dragon burned the throne to symbolize how, the monarchies can never rule, right? And I was like, damn, dragon.
I know. He's got a political mind on him.
Yeah, he's smarter than we really give credit for.
Dude, that was what a win there at the end. That was really anyone's game, and it actually looked like TY could take it to those Zealots ruined everything because TY's army was going to massacre what Hurricane had there.
That was a funny moment.
Yeah. Where did those come from? Like the Prism took a lot of damage.
What was weird was the Prism was there. Maybe we missed a pylon.
I know there were Zealots harassing the third, but there weren't that many Zealots.
I don't think so.
I think he did a warp in at his third or something and sent him up. I'm not sure though, but
I don't know.
It really.
Are these lights extra bright today? I feel like
Well, we got to really showcase your pinstripe suit because it's the first time
I
you've
know.
ever worn one. That's pinstripe, right? That's what that means.
Yes, I've worn pinstripe before.
No, you have not.
I have.
Never.
Somebody go find me wearing a pinstripe thing. I know for sure I've done that.
I don't think so. I think this
I
is
feel
your
like the lights are incredibly bright on us right now. Like I feel like I'm being interrogated right now in some prison somewhere for something terrorist related right now. Like it's light bright enough. I'm like, who are you? I don't know where the bomb is. Anyways, yeah, Hurricane causing the upset so far. If he wins one more, he takes it.
I like the idea of the interrogation right now. There's probably some nerds at home that want to interrogate.
These lights are so bright. I feel like all I need to do before the cast is splash a bucket of water on my face, and I wake up tied to this chair like, oh, where am I?
Like, what do you want to know? I'll tell you anything. They're like, how many hit points does a roach have? You're like, throw the water on me again.
This is I feel like this is the brightest our lights have ever been. I wonder if we look much more pale.
We have makeup on, so we look like whatever makeup they put on us.
Sometimes we look great. Other times we look like wax figures that came to
I
life.
look like curdled applesauce. I didn't even know applesauce could curdle. The lights are too bright. You're right.
Yeah, this is crazy how white we are.
Yeah.
We look like two zombies.
Yeah.
It's like the undead. I'm Beetlejuice right now.
Yes, Beetlejuice. I love it.
Artosis has this sweatshirt that he used to wear that was like white and black stripes, and every time he'd walk in the room, I'd go, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
But now here I am.
You were
I'm
so funny,
Beetlejuice.
especially the 9th and 10th time.
The 11th time was when I hit my peak.
Yeah.
All right.
Whew, it's a good night of games so far.
It is.
This series is really delivering.
Yes.
Hurricane is proven to be a match for TY at the moment.
Hurricane might actually take this, and this would be
Yeah, it's
just such a great plot twist as we begin the Super Tournament.
TY look at the prize when you decided you wanted to cast the tournament.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know. Oxide. That's good for your health, right? Oxide
Game
is.
start.
I don't know. I think oxide, like that's like when oxygenates
Africa
stuff like
Freaks.
makes rust or
T1.
something, right?
Let me check it out. Let's look it up.
Oxidize, that's what it is.
Oxidize.
Oxide.
O-X-I. Is that a word? Oh my God! It's a chemical compound.
Hurricane.
Yeah, sorry, it's a chemical compound that contains at least one oxygen atom and one other element in its chemical formula.
Okay.
Oxide itself is the
Oh yeah, so you can call anything like an oxide if it has like a molecule of like
oxygen and something else, like I just said. Yeah.
So it could be like
Yeah, I knew that. I just forgot about that. Yeah, I learned that in school, and then had to fill my brain with meta knowledge about StarCraft. So let's see here, which player gets that oxygen atom?
yeah.
That's the question.
Gets to move on. Which one suffocates?
Yeah. Again, Hurricane up with a 2-1 lead here. Very interesting. Not what I expected to say. I really thought it was going to be a 3-1 or a 3-0 for TY.
Huh. Well, the thing is, he's been playing a lot of Brew Wars, so I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. I got to say, overall, I like how Hurricane's playing, but he is, and the thing is, he has all these different build orders, but overall, the theme of what he's doing is like, he's hitting these things that mid-game are very good, but aren't going to scale to later. And I feel like TY is not playing optimally against these things. It's like you have to gather your units up and play a little bit more turtle. You have to get a little bit more of a mass, right? Because these builds, like, you see these moments where suddenly the Marine Marauder ball is big enough, and the Zealots don't do anything anymore. You know, and you need to be really abusing that when he's playing this way, where he's just like, okay, we're on like 10-game Zealot. You know, it's a very powerful way to play it. I cheers to Hurricane because I think he's playing it really well.
Yeah. Is TY being too aggressive here?
A little bit.
It seems like a lot of the times he's overextending. I do think in that last game he was actually going to win, but he just did not foresee Zealots coming. I mean,
100%.
The moment the War Prison was done, I think you, me, TY, and everybody watching was on the exact same page as in, okay, GG inbound any second now. Hurricane dies, and instead, something like 13 Zealots came out of nowhere.
The thing is, if he caught wind of those Zealots coming, he can actually pull back up his ramp,
Yeah.
make another round, because the thing is, he was fighting, and the Zealots came in and surrounded, and then a bunch of his units got caught, he lost a huge amount of his units, and you can't do it from there. So, yeah, definitely, it could have been his game, absolutely. That's a rough one to lose, but cheers to Hurricane. That was a hero move at the end there.
So, this time around, let's see what kind of attack Hurricane's going to go for. It's not the Starport this time. It's going to be War Prism. It's not Proxy either. I think Hurricane is coming to the reality that he can kind of just box TY in the middle of the map and win fights and take the game. Which I would imagine Hurricane, before the series started, he probably thought he had to have a lot more dramatic tricks. And
Well, he's playing a little bit tricky, right?
a little bit, but what I'm saying is, it's like, as an example, this is not like the two proxied, the Robo and the Gateway right outside the natural.
Yeah.
This is much more like, I'm going to pick this tech, I'm going to grow, I am going to try to be on your case as much as possible, but I will outgrow you and have a bigger army. Now, if we get into a super long game, it doesn't seem like Hurricane is and I'm only saying this based off of Game 3, it doesn't seem like he's in great shape to kind of develop into a macro Protoss.
Not the way he's been playing.
It seems like he really wanted to end that game on 3 bases.
Yeah.
He wanted to trample his opponent.
Well, that's basically every game tonight has been like that, where it's like, yeah, I mean, he can do a little bit in the late game, but not a whole lot. If TY grows too much, he's going to have a terrible time. But he still, he has the tactics, he has the tricks. He can try to do things like catch TY's army split or do a big flank, things like that, or really strong moves throughout the game. So, again, it's like he's chosen a certain way to play today, and he's doing a great job of it. But yeah, I think that what we're getting at here is basically the key for TY to win, right? Is to it's okay to do a bit of harassment. It's okay to get in there, get a little drop off. Like his initial drop last game was amazing, but eventually you gotta step back and be like, okay, this is what he's doing, and this is how we kill it. We hit a critical mass.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, this is a really strange way that Hurricane is playing here, right? He's got the quick prism, and he went 4 gates very, very quickly. Now he's adding more gates, Immortal, Twilight. I don't know what this is that he's doing. He's got a probe like sitting at his 3rd, but he's just adding gates. So I think that's like a red herring, I guess.
That can work though.
Yeah.
Those little things can make it appear. It almost signals to the other player that there's something very. They can assume that something's going on, and if it's not the case, people that are very good at reading can end up reading into things that aren't actually happening.
Yeah. Good mind game for sure. Yeah, look at this funny way he's playing. Like, this is something that can crush a mid-game push, like an early mid-game push.
For sure.
You know the push where you go like 3 racks, factory, starport, and then you push out while taking your 3rd.
Yeah.
This will beat that. He's going to have charge, 2-3 immortals, a prism, 6 gates. It's a very strong build for stopping something like that, but if they figure out that you're doing this, they can sit back, more turtle, right? Take a 3rd base, and their army continues to scale well.
Okay. Scan here. Is he going to try to edge in?
That's very
Terran's pushing to the south, but there is a pretty serious army over here to the north for Protoss. They could counterattack.
He's coming out with this little bio
There's
force.
no medevac here.
Okay, he's going to see no 3rd. This is kind of interesting.
Can he actually kill this tank here? I think there's just barely enough SCVs that the bunker doesn't die, yeah. But getting the tank's pretty good. Probes are dying somewhere, but we're not going to show you on camera. There it is.
Oh my god, it was a Liberator?
And an auto turret.
Okay, well, also TY scouted there was no third base, and he's seen multiple Immortals.
I think TY's fast track to win this game now. He's getting a third.
Okay, yeah.
He actually damaged Hurricane.
But he needs to bring his entire army together. This is kind of what we were talking about, right? Like, the army of Hurricane is quite strong, and if it finds chunks of army, it will eradicate them. But if TY gathers everything he has together into a more turtled position, this army should not be able to kill him.
This army actually, for Hurricane's sake, has to do significant damage. He has forced it to lift off. That's not exactly what he's looking for. He probably needs to do a little bit more than that.
Yeah, for sure. He needs to kill him, honestly.
Yeah.
He has to kill him here.
Okay, the first few Widowmine shots are going to come out here. And this is quite a bit here for Hurricane. This actually may be too much for TY. The bunker is going down now. I barely see any infantry here anymore. In fact, SCVs are running around the stasis is here. Meanwhile, Zealot's over here. Oh my god. I think that he's actually done it. This is it. Everything is going to run into this corner. And if TY cannot save himself now, he is out of the Super Tournament. 34 workers have been killed. Significant tech remains. SCV is still fighting down here at the bottom as we're getting to 45 dead SCVs. There's 9 workers for Terran in this game. Zealots are still present.
This is a crazy one because we actually only have 25 probes, so he hasn't been remaking them at all. Double Liberator. It's like overall better tech, higher quality for TY,
yeah.
But his economy has just been destroyed.
Yeah, it's now 8 SCVs. It's 27 probes. Blink is being upgraded. Probes are being remade. Keep in mind, if they're both even on Nexuses and Command Centers, you're going to be making SCVs and probes at the same rate. There are mules, but I don't think that makes up for the deficit that TY has. TY is going to go for a little bit of a risky play here, but what options does he really have? Not many. He's going to try to come around and do damage of his own. Now, this is spotted. I don't know that it's... Oh, yeah, it is going to be killed here. No boost available. No Widow Mines now.
Ouch.
That's 4 Widow Mines that did nothing.
Great
Medevac,
catch.
every unit in a game like this, on both sides, really, is very significant because the economies are just barely functioning.
What a catch.
Yeah.
What a catch on that. That was a huge deal.
It was a risk that TY had to take, but it was successfully punished there by Hurricane. Blink is not done, so he can't hop over the rocks and kill another medevac. A scan comes down for TY, confirming that, at least from what he's seen, there's no third base.
Yeah.
We know, in fact, there is no third base here for Hurricane. But TY is still a little bit in the dark. That's one of the things is that had he gone across and there was a third base and he got it, maybe he could do more damage. But defending on 2 bases right now for Protoss is not hard.
Yeah.
To Terran, usually it's not hard, but he has so little. And I think if we were to look at like growth rates on a graph here, we'd see that Hurricane should just keep mounting more and more.
Well, he's not really refilling his probes. He only made 4 probes in the last several minutes of the game.
They've started to even out here, but that means that he's actually invested in army here. And this is a serious army, and Terran doesn't have any real splash here.
Yeah, but with the Liberators, with the armor shred, like, I don't think he can break this at all.
I'm surprised that he pursued it that far, and now he's just going to come through here. Now, nice pickups here, but again, no splash anymore with the Archon's dead. I think that Hurricane screwed this up. GG, TY takes it. I think TY great under pressure. Hurricane, I get what he's doing by not making the workers, but
yeah.
I think really it's better to just rebuild workers and keep your lead, not try to... How do I say that? He basically took a game that was a lead and turned it into a seeker missile and tried to hit at an exact moment and kill him, which was, it's one way to play the game, but I think a player like TY who knows how to engage just handles it well.
This is the way that he's playing is a very powerful way, and it's a great thing to mix in your play, and he's doing it very well. And I mean, he's one of the strongest Protosses in the world.
Sure.
So, all these things, I don't want to speak little of it, but it has like, there's like a time where it stops. It's like he knows that he has to kill TY because his army isn't going to do anything. His economy's not growing. He's not getting great upgrades. He's not adding awesome splash. And that's the 4th game he's done it. So let's see if TY can stop one more time, or maybe it works again for Hurricane.
Game start. Africa Freaks, TY. Hurricane.
This has been a great series.
Yeah, I'm
nice.
very excited that we had, because I thought this was probably going to be one of our, it was going to be like an
On paper,
appetizer.
it looked like the worst series today. But
yeah.
honestly, if this turns out to be the worst series today, this is going to be a silly good day of some StarCraft 2, you know?
So good to be back here doing Super Tournament as well. So fun.
Yeah. Good times. Last GSL of the year. It might be a while. We don't know when GSL starts up next year.
Yeah,
Just don't know.
hopefully soon. But yeah, we don't have the schedule set yet.
All right. Nothing out of the ordinary going on at the moment.
Yeah, a bit of a slow start here, as PvT often is, unless somebody does something super crazy. I think TY might have made the necessary adjustments to close this. I think Hurricane's come in here pretty strong, but he hasn't really shown, at times when he gets the lead, he knows what he needs to do to close it out. I mean, particularly Game 3 was a weird one because I think any top-tier Terran player would have taken that fight, and then the Zealots came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
It's like, whoa, what?
No, totally.
That's weird. Where do those things come from? Especially after the Warp Prism's killed. After the Warp Prism's killed, then you assume that what you see is what you get, exactly. And he should have been able to take that fight, but there were plenty of Zealots, and they came from an unexpected angle, which flanked it.
It was awesome. I mean, what a move from Hurricane.
Oh, it was great. But
Timely
again,
reinforcements, if I've ever seen them.
situations like Game 4, or even Game 2, where it just seems like, okay, Hurricane's very good, but he could have won those games, but he didn't. Like, especially the last game as an example, he got him down to 9 SCVs. That should be, if you cross your T's and dot your I's, you really should be okay from there. That's almost lethal damage.
Yeah.
You pretty much buried him. They have to climb out of the grave there.
You know, it's something that I talk about a lot, where it's like your strength is also your weakness, right? And that's true with basically every strategy too. Why is the strategy strong? Okay, that's also why it's weak. Why is what Hurricane has been doing strong? It's because it gives you an opportunity to kill your opponent if they misstep at all in the mid game, right? But why is it weak? Well, you're basically using your entire army, so you're not. If you don't kill them, then it gets really hard.
Yeah.
But, well, I mean, I don't know that he's going to continue to do it. It seems like it, though, right? If he did the first 4 games, it would be very strange to see him go into a Colossus game from here. But it would also actually be very impressive.
It does seem like Hurricane doesn't have the range that other Protoss players have.
Right now, it does.
I mean, this is true even for players like Zest. Like, it does seem like Zest, there's styles that he can't quite do.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Or like,
he has some issues with some late game type things.
Yeah, and you know, I think the very best players of each race in the world a lot of times, they can kind of do everything.
Yeah.
They know their race so well.
100%.
It's like they can do any kind of dance.
Maru, Serral, TY. These are players that have the complete full range, where it's not that their strength is their weakness, it's that they're strong at everything.
Yeah, they whatever they want to do, they can do that perfectly.
Basically.
And it does seem like Hurricane has like a certain way he wants to approach it. Now hold up, we've got a big attack coming in here, and I don't see enough defense.
Oh man, this is good
devastating.
damage. Look at this, 9 probes already.
Yeah, it's
oh
gonna
my
get worse.
god, 13.
And it's oh my god, if he gets one more shot.
Oh,
16.
That was serious damage right there.
And this is before the 5-minute marker when the Protoss is trying to develop into a composition that actually can take fights, and that composition has been, well, that development, I should say, has been shut down. It has been pushed back, and TY now has a lot of ways to set this game up where he can get a win here.
This gets to kill his own kind of balance.
It's annoying.
Yeah. No, that was great from TY. So we see something very different here. Okay, we see the Colossus tech has started, the Sport Bay, but he's also getting charge. You think it might be like Disruptor charge?
Maybe.
Or do you think it's gonna be Colossus charge? I'm not really
I think
sure.
both are okay.
Yeah,
I worry about
okay.
Disruptor because I don't think he's going to have enough backup with the Disruptors for Terran to not just snipe it.
Well, both techs. This is why I'm a little bit confused. Both techs work a bit better with Blink.
Right.
Right. And with charge, it's like, well, I mean, you can make the ground pounding army where you're like, you've got 2 to 3 Colossus and a bunch of charge lots, and you will kill anything on the ground. But you know, it's got its issues, that army, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to be Disruptor.
This is a cool play. I worry a little bit for Hurricane, though. I mean, regardless of what this tech is, the damage he took early, that can be enough. That the other parts of the game are much less consequential. Unsieging these stalkers.
Oh, he already has Blink. Oh my gosh. So
oh, good save, though. Wow.
Yeah, very good save.
Talk about quick reactions there.
Takes Siege up, so he is safe for now. Okay, so I mean, it looks like just a standard Colossus game. We definitely need to see some Forges go up, unless he's looking again for some sort of mid-game timing attack. Does have that single Disruptor. I kind of like the single Disruptor.
Me too.
You know, it's one of those units that can kind of turn the game up on its head, and you know, it's the ace up your sleeve, I guess.
Sure.
Okay. Single Forge coming down.
Terran's beginning to roam now. The 4 gates for Protoss are finishing. The Forge, of course, signals that, yeah, Protoss is in this for the long run, at least for now. Again, Terran always get their third a little bit later than the third here for the Protoss. That's the way the matchup operates. Both sides upgrading. I think both players realize they can win this, but they can also screw this up and lose this. This is not... I mean, this has turned out to be a much more even fight. I don't know if that's because Hurricane has dramatically improved or if TY has been playing too much Brood War and casting too much, or a mix of the two, or what.
Yeah.
But right now, it's 2-2, and it looks very even.
It definitely feels like it can go either way.
Yeah. That being said, TY did get that early victory with the 16 pro kills, but that's not enough to count TY the winner yet.
Absolutely, especially if you're playing this more turtle type of game. If he was still trying to go for a mid-game kill, it's like, well, you've lost a lot of your stuff, so it's hard to imagine. Now he is pushing across the map a little bit. Looks like he's also getting ready to take a fort. This might be just a little bit of a pressure play. I can't imagine him actually doing a full-fledged attack. It just would not make sense here. But to be out in the center and try to slow your opponent down, that makes a lot of sense.
Now this is a very tough bottleneck to move through, but with the siege tank sieging up, I don't think Protoss wants to try to fight that either. We have about half the army picked up, another scan here, and I don't know that Phoenix would notice that there's no medevacs there.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And so
he is way out of position.
He has the 2 pylons powering what looks to be like 80% of everything that operates inside the base here. This is huge.
Huge move from TY.
Yeah.
And he does not have recall energy on that Nexus, unfortunately.
And actually getting the Nexus, I did not expect that, but that makes a lot of sense. Will he get the pylons here as well? Unpowers that one.
Honestly, the Dark Shrine's a good pick-off too. Looks like he just wants to get out with anything he can at the moment.
That's funny, the selection tree he followed for attacking that. Did you expect him to get the Nexus and then that pylon? I didn't.
I think the Nexus is probably always the best kill.
But what about, I thought he was going to get the pylons with the gates, but...
Yeah, the pylons with the gates felt really good. I actually would have considered going after the Dark Shrine, to be honest. Because the Dark Shrine represents things that can really end up going wrong in a game.
Sure.
And if you just cut that out, like, is your opponent, after losing a Nexus and his Dark Shrine, going to put down another Dark Shrine?
Probably not, no.
So you're not going to have to play against DTs at all at that point.
The 4th base is hugging the upper right. This is an expansion pattern for Protoss in which you're just clinging to one side of the map. There's other ways you can do this, for instance, expanding towards a clump in the bottom right quadrant, but in this game, Hurricane seems to be the most confident in this. We'll see if Terran expands towards or away from this position. And now we need to see these disruption shots go off, and they just went off too late. He just got no value out of that.
Yeah, they were way at the front of his army, too.
Yeah.
Definitely some miscontrol there from Hurricane, and
This
those were two very important units for him this game.
It's a unique feature within StarCraft 2, especially Terran vs. Protoss, is that they both have to have all their abilities casted immediately. And pre-position is key. To have those disruptors out in the front, they can't be used. And all TY has to do is be paying attention. He did. He stemmed, he killed it. And I don't see the defense here on this base. I mean, maybe a disruptor shot can get in there and do some damage. It seems like there's just enough out in the front. It's a problem. That's funny.
Oh, man.
I guess just the threat of that coming in the main is enough to keep a lot of that army there. Is TY going to take this Nexus out? This is the most important part of the game now that we're in.
He's definitely making this as cost inefficient for Hurricane as he possibly can. Let's see a good oh my god, the disrupt shot whiffs. It hits absolutely nothing. A couple disables on those boss eye, and this may allow him to snipe the Nexus.
Yeah, the Nexus goes down. Great play. 3 base to 3 base, but there is a 4th command center. Oh, I'm sorry. I think it's just now finished. I see it on the mini map, but it's not over at the location yet.
TY tries to get in with that
There
medevac, and there's such a big army there. I think now he realizes, oh, that's why I crushed your top right so easily.
Yeah.
Half his army is up in his main base waiting for that.
Well, now he's backing up. And I'm not sure.
Well, right now TY's going to 4 base, and I mean, Hurricane's had a hard time keeping 3 running for very long.
True.
He's taken another couple of them. Let's not forget, right? He has some units that actually can turn the tide of a battle. He has some more disruptors. Misses that one. Good dodge from TY. 3 Nexuses being constructed. We'll see where he's putting his eggs.
Yeah, now this might, well, I was going to say it might be too many bases for TY to take out, but he's already clearing out 6 o'clock, and one of the other Nexuses is just a little bit north of that.
Seems like TY is just combing the map now, too.
Well, not only that, but it seems like TY, like, he can't even make any more attacking units, so this would be an organic moment for him to try to come in the game. And it looks like he wants to take a fight right here in the middle of the map. Tanks are sieging up. We've still got plenty of positions here that it looks like Hurricane's going to have to defend. I don't know that he can, though. I like the disruptor play in theory, but in application, it's not working at all.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, he's so good at those other styles.
Oh,
it makes
God.
sense he wouldn't be as strong at this. But
And especially getting disruptors or colossi up here, I don't think it's going to happen. Not easily. And this is all the gateways, all the infrastructure that makes the units that can buffer for the high-tech units pretty much useless. And tanks now sieging on the low ground.
oh man, he
Oh
blinks
my
down on
God.
it, but there's Marauders there as well.
Beautiful splits.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to
Oh
be
my
bad.
God. Yeah, I think that should be game. TY closes it out in a surprisingly and delightfully close series.
Yeah, that was a very nice series. The last game, maybe the most one-sided one in a lot of ways there.
Sure.
But TY comes out on top as people expected. Yeah, that was a very nice series. The last game may be the most one-sided one in a lot of ways there.
Sure.
But TY comes out on top as people expected, but did they expect 3-2 with it? Could have, I mean, it could have gone to Hurricane as well.
Sure.
Nice series, though. A breath of fresh air coming out of Hurricane.
Be honest, Artosis.
Yeah, he's having the best.
And then players like Hurricane that can get into GSL, can get into Super Tournament, but tend to fail to bring out spectacular results. Guys, we've got a short break. Coming up next is Dark vs. Beyond, another best of 5.
free. All that's to do is fix our own mistakes. How can you do this? I don't know if I'm ever gonna.
Areas, just very, very impressive. So I definitely agree with your sentiment before. It's like to me, he looks better than he ever has.
Yeah.
Right now, which is wild to say, but yeah. Okay, so this is command center first in the main base. I love it.
Yeah, this is a little bit different than a
Yeah,
lot of the other
love
Terrans
it.
who approach this matchup. Dark is snagging 3 bases immediately, which is pretty normal, of course.
Yeah. Well, before the pool even. It's so funny. Look at this. If he had 12 pooled, or if Beyond had proxy raxed, what a game this would be. Now, this is command center first into 3 barracks immediately.
Yeah, all in the main here. The Overlord's going to come out and not see a CC here yet. I mean, this may
What interesting builds,
this
man.
this may trigger Dark into some kind of a panic where he thinks that a rush is inbound. We see him now come in there and it's like, oh, that's weird. What is he doing?
Yeah, look, you
But
don't want to go too far.
Upon further inspection, no, he's not going to go in. Okay, I was going to say upon further inspection, he will know what's happening.
Well,
But
now he probably thinks it's a proxy, right?
that's what I would imagine, right? Something he imagines is inbound. In fact, things are pretty ordinary over here for Beyond.
Well.
Of course, Beyond doesn't. Well, I mean, as far as like things that you could be doing compared to a proxy.
Yeah,
He's
it's a
producing
macro
macro-
play.
Yeah, he's making a macro build. Where there's 8-lings coming out here. Where did the Overlord go? It is still parked over the natural.
Yeah.
But you can see no drones mining at the 3rd. Lings have been made in mass, and Ling speed was started. And here the CC will land safely. And I don't think these Lings that were intended to defend can even be a threat in offense here.
They're just going to scout right now.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's not going to get that.
I was gonna say, I'm like, high ground vision doesn't last that long.
No, certainly it does not.
So he's expanded.
This is really fun, man.
I
I'm
don't think we've
enjoying
ever
this.
casted these build orders together.
Of course not. Never.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever, ever.
So,
But I'm so happy to do it. I love it.
and again, this is a real treat. Now, look at this. He's making more Lings. He may just lean into the build that he was forced into early on here. And I don't know if Beyond's going to be expecting this. Most Zerg players would dial it back and go into drones, but I think this is actually even better here from Dark, as he says, okay, well, I've already got Lings and Ling speed. Let's actually turn this into a timing attack where I am going to pounce on your natural.
Unfortunately for Dark, I don't think he's going to like what he finds. Like, he's going to get in and surround those, but there's 3 Raxes producing Marines right now.
Yeah.
There is no chance of him killing Beyond here.
Yeah, and
no
it's
chance.
the right distribution of high ground to low ground.
Yeah, it really
where
is. It's
like,
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like very safe from Beyond.
Yeah.
He's been extremely greedy this game, but he's powered up into like so many units. A few workers are dying for sure.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
Beyond is going to have so many units here coming up, and
Yeah.
Dark is going to have to go into droning unless he just
Well,
continues.
hold on, more Lings are going to come in here. They can actually get a surround. Oh, they actually cannot. He just barely gets away, and this means he holds that. I thought for a second he was going to be able to pull around and actually hit from all sides. By the way, Stim is done.
He might be able to walk across the map and kill him.
It's possible.
Yeah,
a
see,
Roachmorn as well here. I think that's indicating the threat Dark is actually feeling here.
Against that many Marines, what are you going to do? Make the same amount of Lings and
Yeah.
lose them again?
No.
You can't do that. Oh god, yeah. Beyond with these medevacs coming out and Stim already done.
It's crazy because there's so many different ways this game could have gone, but here we are now. And this is really funny because, yeah, I mean, like I said, I thought most Zergs would probably go back into drones, but Beyond setting up for a macro game, trying to mislead a Zerg, this game may end up with Terran setting up for a push instead, just because the Zerg's strategy was punished so severely here by Beyond.
Well, he's making a lot of roaches. Dark's drone count is not really where you want it. And the thing is, he's got 45 workers right now. That sounds like it's not that bad, but he just barely made a bunch of those.
Well,
so
the
his economy is not strong.
Not just that, but the problem when you go for roaches is that there's no way to punish medevac movement.
Yeah.
And you don't have a ton of queens with this either. So it's like, roaches are good because they're beefy, and they can absorb quite a bit of damage. But there's nothing besides the queens that can actually hit the medevac. So Terran usually gets to move around easily.
Yeah, you get to keep a lot of pressure on him. If Dark lets up for a second, if he moves his units in the wrong direction, which is so easy to do, then Beyond is going to pounce and get some damage done. I think this is, I mean, a beautiful game for Beyond so far.
Yeah.
Right? There's been some mind games in here. He's gotten lucky in a couple ways on what Dark has decided to do. Of course, Dark couldn't have known, but it's working out for Beyond. And look at this, right? Pick off a queen, get a drone, force everything back, and get out.
Again, Beyond is going to be even stronger when the next push comes. But Dark actually did defend pretty well. I actually expected that to be much worse for him, but a good handling by Dark. I guess part of it's also that Dark can't overextend here because he doesn't have enough drones to develop anywhere. You know what I mean? So
That is,
Yeah.
wow, you are an optimist.
they call me the spin doctor, man.
Dude, wow.
I should
He
manage-
can't overextend because he doesn't have enough drones to do
Yeah.
it. I love that. That's
Yeah.
a great call. 100%.
There's another push coming down here, too. Oh, these Lings get in. Look at that.
Okay, yeah.
He's like, okay, I have a lot to deal with coming up here. So I think the drop from the top is going to merge in here with the push from the bottom. There's no Ravagers, right? Oh, no, they're starting. Excuse me.
They're starting now. This is not good for Dark.
No, he's going to have 3 Ravagers, which is enough to pick off a tank, which we're going to see that right here. 3 shots kills tank. Did he not fire 3? That was weird. Okay.
Look, even if he's killing off these tanks, right? Like,
Most of the
he's
Zerg
not
army
making
was-
drones that much, right? He's at 62 drones finally. We're 8 minutes in. He's trying to get these upgrades, but as long as Beyond hits his macro, continues to upgrade, you know, gets a few siege tanks here and there, what is Dark going to do? Are we going to just see the max roach push? Is that the plan? You know, this 1/1 roach timing attack that we used to see a lot that has kind of disappeared? Is that how Dark is going to try to fight his way back into the game? the medevacs are going to be an increasing problem.
Right.
It's like, yeah, you held off the first 2, but what about when we have 4 medevacs?
It really is a situation where each thing that happened forced another situation that's forced another situation.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that now Dark is going to be stuck with in a position where it's going to be so difficult to play the game from here on out,
Yeah.
right?
Look, like, he technically has enough roaches to stop this, but Bjorn gets to decide how the battle goes. He decides
Right.
what to target and when to pick up. All Dark can do is send his roaches to fight the Marines. You can see who has the control here.
Yeah, again, this is not... I mean, imagine that the Zerg had Mutiling Bane. You know, how different these fights would look. I mean, there is sort of this... kind of, the roaches are almost like these junkyard dogs on the ground, right?
Yeah.
But at this point in time, I mean...
They're hounds.
Beyond can hop over the fence anytime and then run somewhere else and hit. Now, eventually, this culminates into Dark doing this battering ram attack over here because you have to do something with his units. You've survived the attacks, but now you need to actually come in here and hit. And this is a pretty wild attack here. This is over 180 degrees of damage here. Is it going to be enough, though? It seems like no. Terran just has enough. After Biles connect to the targets, it's still enough Marauders and Marines that this thins out most of the army. The dodging's also quite easy as well. And again, Terran is going to seesaw the action here, in this case, over towards the Zerg, through the bottleneck. Again, Marauders and Marines are actually just better than Ravagers and Roaches.
Yeah, exactly, right? And so, like, even though he killed 18 SCVs there, Bjorn's got over 55 SCVs, so that's fine. He's still got strong army. What do you do, just remake Roach Ravager? Is that going to work this
He's
time?
stopped doing it, and I think we're close to the end here. This also, you know, GG, we really saw how strong Concussive Shell is as you start to win fights against that. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you see that on camera?
He's always
the
had
wrist
wrist
shake.
issues, yeah.
If you guys will recall, last time we casted Beyond, we actually had to have a pause in the middle of the game because the wrist pain was so high.
That's
and
right, I forgot.
he, I think he got like a yellow card or something like that. There's been a pause requested. I'm guessing from Beyond, but what do I know? But yeah, let's keep that in mind. He wins that game, but will his wrist hold up? Or will his...
That's the new storyline for Beyond,
Will he
right?
go down in flaming tendons?
Well, I hope not.
Oh, are we not going to take this break?
No, I don't
They
think
have
so.
the interrogation lights on us. Why? I need to text production later on about the brightness of these lights.
Oxide tasteless.
Let's take a look at who's got a better scalp. What do you say? I'd
Seems
say
like
it's tied. I
Dark
think
has
it's good.
slightly thicker hair, I think.
I think that's the shampoo. I think it's just adding more volume to his hair.
Oh, okay. You a hairstylist?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
That's sick.
Yeah,
Why have you never styled my hair?
that's a good question.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You know,
Oxide.
If something is an oxide, can you breathe it? Because it has oxygen molecules in it.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Because, like, I was just thinking, what I would love to do, you know, like a chocolate pudding? Imagine chocolate pudding oxide, and, like, I just dive into a big vat of it. And you're like, I wonder where our toast is. And, like 10 days later, I emerge, and I have been breathing down there while eating pudding.
You come out as some kind of chocolate-flavored Batman villain.
Yes. That would be amazing.
Chocotosis is here. Guys, we're ready for Game 2 on Oxide. Dark versus Beyond. Right now, Beyond with a 1-0 lead.
Game start.
We were
Right
informed
in
that
Phoenix Gaming.
Beyond is having some
Dark.
pain. Yeah. I think we're going to try to pace out the...
That's rough, man. That is a tough one.
So, guys, the best thing to do
Yeah.
if you have wrist pain, stretches, taking time off, and doing some forearm and hand workouts.
Yeah.
One thing about StarCraft players, in my experience, is you meet every iteration of human for StarCraft players, right?
Sure, yeah.
Like, you have people that are very physically fit. You have
Yeah, no, you
twig nerds, you know,
No, you got the whole spectrum. You know, you got
social people,
You got-
anti-social people.
the Hearthstone / Artosis types, then you got the Tasis types. You know.
Yeah. You talk bodybuilders, that's right. Philosophers, philosopher kings. Yes. Philosopher kings.
Yeah.
But if you are having pain, and if you're younger, you're like, I'm gonna live forever, baby. You're not. Take
true.
care of your
Yeah.
hands and wrists.
That is important.
Tendons.
That is important.
Oh.
Play at a speed that you can play long term at.
Yeah, and don't become Wiggly Fingers guy. You're like, I have 500 APM before anything matters. It's like, calm down, buddy. Who are you trying to impress?
What are you, the YouTube comment section?
I'm that and worse. Yeah.
Why is he spamming at the beginning of the game?
But yeah, take care of your hands and your forearms, and just build some muscle. If you get some muscle around those tendons, it's good. It supports it. And do stretches.
Yeah, I definitely do stretching each day. I'm going to start exercising my wrists specifically. I play a lot of StarCraft nowadays.
I see that.
I'm going to do that. I definitely don't have any pain, but I want to preempt it.
Well, I actually have a theory, because you know I had that broken bone in my hand, and then I came back, and then I got an RSI injury because I didn't work out my hands.
Yeah.
Trying to play games. Oh, Link Speed's about to finish. Hold on. You might have to expand on this topic in a little bit here. Cancels the CC, son.
Very nice.
Oh!
Gets to the high ground, though.
Yeah, barely escaped.
Nice enough.
This is actually a pretty big interruption in what the Terran was trying to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's what the build is really planning to do, right? If you're going to grab Berserk at speed like that, you are looking to cancel it.
It's cool in this series to see the build orders chosen on both sides here to start things off.
Such a huge range. And I think that's really exciting to see.
So now, Dark has a little bit more free freedom on the map here. He's able to develop. The command center will eventually land, but it is an interruption there. So to what we were mentioning earlier, yeah, I mean, take care of your hands and wrists. To my theory, though, is if you're playing enough StarCraft consistently, I think that you do have enough muscles in your hands and your wrists.
Really?
Because I never had a problem until I had the broken bone in my hand. I never had any problem at all. I don't think my ergonomics were very good at all, but it seems like if you do take time off, but I've worked out off and on, I guess, too. I had like, a little bit of muscle there in my arms. Yeah, no. So, this game we're going to have Beyond move out here.
Yeah, it finally does get that expansion. I'm going for Cloak Banshee here. Medevac drop on the way. As far as Dark goes, just staying on that 2-hatch. It's actually getting a spine right now. Okay, so getting ready. Dark, going to lose this Overlord against drop. A Siege Tank on the way. Kind of interesting. What is Dark up to here?
I don't know. Let's see here. He's going to chase away that medevac. Not a bad idea there by Young to come out. It's pretty impressive how good people have gotten at defense overall in this game.
Oh, yeah.
The drops.
It takes a long time to learn.
There was a period where like Terran drops were the most insane thing in the game.
Do you remember when Banshees never didn't get 10 kills?
Yeah,
plus?
it's like, here we go. This is the strongest move in the game.
Yeah, to make a Banshee. It's like, that's the strongest move to make the unit?
Yeah. Cloak or no cloak?
Yeah.
You had cloak, it's probably going to get 26 kills or so.
Yeah, it was a real thing. Nowadays, it's like you're really trying so hard to just add some damage to the Queens. Because he's actually going for this. Oh, there's the cloak.
Oh, invisibility, boys!
Yeah, and the Spore is not quite ready yet.
Yeah, he's shift-clicking down drones. Oh,
is he losing his whole army over here? Yeah,
what
he
is
is.
happening? Beyond seems to have really misplayed this. And, okay, he's back to killing drones again here, but the Spore's about to finish.
Yeah, he sacked his army trying to get that third base. Not able to do it.
Dark did have a small overextension earlier we didn't remark upon, but he did lose a couple lings up there. But I actually think Dark's in a better position overall.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. It's been a bit better for him. I like how he's kind of bent his build around as well. Kind of appreciate the lateness of the third and how he's kind of been careful about things and pretty much stopped everything that Beyond has tried here. You know, the Banshee did get a few kills, but other than that, like he cleared the army. The Cloak Banshee coming in, seeing what he can get done.
This one not doing too much damage. Oh, he actually got a queen.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Got ahead of myself there. Stim now is on the way here for Terran, and it's been kind of a bumpy game so far. To go back for a second, though, the last game really was a lot about a forced attack here. Dark had plans to go for Lings. It didn't work out, and then he was forced to go Roaches to defend, and then he was forced to try to win with Roaches because he couldn't take out of it. So
Totally.
I don't think that game's going to be representative of what the rest of the series is, but we should note it is Roach Tech again. But I think the circumstances are wildly
very different.
Yeah.
You're really right about that. When you're going Roaches from behind or going Roaches from ahead or even, it's definitely two very different things. You know, last game was really looking for Beyond to make a series of mistakes for him to be able to win. Whereas this game, it's like, okay, yeah. I mean, Dark is a player that likes Roaches, to be honest.
Sure.
It's not that he can't play like Link Bane or Link Bane Muta, but he's always been a player that's liked Roaches. He likes Ravagers a lot. Not sure exactly what he's going to get in here. Like, are we going to see maybe 1-1 for Roach with these two Evos into +1 melee +2 carapace? That sounds like a very Dark-esque thing to do, but we'll see in a second. Ooh, some nice harassment here. Picking off 8 drones. Not bad. 9.
Yeah, that's a very good play. Swooping in there, doing quite a bit of damage. Dark, though, always on top of these little Ling maneuvers here, just getting damage where he can, even escaping with those Zerglings.
Yeah, Dark right now throwing down a couple hatches, getting that +1 missile attack, so definitely going to be staying on Roach for a bit.
And again, this is a very different Roach style conceptually compared to what we had in the last game. Beyond is just now getting his third base up, where Dark is already in acquisition of his fourth. And this is the Dark that we're used to seeing dominate globally.
Yeah, he's playing a nice game here. Definitely do like it. He's got a much healthier queen count as well, so he's going to be a bit better against the medevac play that Beyond is going to have to show. A lot of Roaches being made.
+1 attack, +1 armor is going to finish. I don't know if Terran has a timing attack. We'll see.
No, yeah, you're right.
Doesn't seem like there's anything that would incentivize Terran to try to hit now. Like we mentioned earlier, you know, when you go for medevacs against Roach Ravager, there's not really anything that you can do to stop medevacs from coming in. The Queens will damage the medevacs if they can, but
you're mostly zoning.
You're mostly zoning. That's correct. I mean, pretty much the Terran can fly around as much as they want, and even if the medevacs take damage, they go back home and repair it. So it's one of the features of these unit compositions engaging with each other. But Dark's pretty good. I think probably better than the rest of the Zerg players at defending with Roach Ravager and not eating too much damage.
Yeah, he's very good with the composition. I think he's going to go into like a Ling Bane with this now and go into Ultra. That's kind of the only thing. We'll see if he starts the +1 melee. Actually, he just started 3rd Evolution Chamber, so I think he's going to get all the upgrades at once.
A lot of times when we have the Banelings made, one of the concepts that Zerg's trying to use is to have so much damage over at the Terran's 3rd that the Terran becomes a 2-baser off and on, while you tech into Ultras.
Yeah, and this type of comp goes into Ultras pretty cleanly as well.
Yeah, it's a very easy step-by-step process.
Yeah.
Like everything sort of pairs with the other thing to get you where you need to be.
And honestly, at this point, Beyond's not really getting very much done.
Yeah, Beyond needs to be careful because he's not doing any damage with these, and Marines are being picked off one by one, and it seems on the surface it could be inconsequential, but if you have 7 or 8 of these moments where 4 or 5 Marines are killed and don't kill anything, you do have a much smaller army later on. We're going to see that here now. Again, Lings, although Marines only cost minerals and Lings only cost minerals, Lings are much more expendable than even the Marines.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Oh, look at this. This is very interesting. He's actually going Hydralisk Cavern, so I think we're going to see him go into Lurker from here, which should work out pretty well. I'm surprised we don't see an Ultralisk Cavern, though, honestly. I would like to see it, even if he doesn't necessarily want to make ultras right away. It just, yeah. Anyways, Adrenal on the way. A couple Vipers come out as well. Dark right now, trying to defend his creep a bit. Oh,
Whoa,
what
whoa,
happened
whoa!
there?
I think all the bios hit that.
Or it might have been Banelings too.
Oh, could be, yeah. Now, Dark really has a lot of the map here. Look at the creep spread.
Yeah, it's scary. It is scary.
It is pretty insane. This map is toast, and that is his jam. Or Toast's. How am I doing? Is this my best cast ever, or
It's amongst them.
Yes, thank you. No, but seriously, this is pretty insane. The amount of mobility, the creep highway is crazy here. Beyond is going to expand to what I think is probably the safest base to take here, the center right. He could take the top center, but I feel like this is going to allow him to defend that base by pushing through the middle here.
Okay. Yeah, I totally see what you're saying. So he can clear this side of the map first. Kind of makes sense. It cuts off attack paths to that base. He's doing some multi-prong here. Sends another little group over to the base on the left for Dark. And he's got such a nice spread of siege tanks. We're definitely going to see a big fight happen over here relatively soon. Oh god, the two full energy Vipers come in.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, Mining Cloud's absolutely everywhere. Dark should be able to smash through everything here.
Oh my god. Dark just crushing. And look at these tanks. Some reinforcements will come in here to defend.
Oh, Dark might want to turn around,
Yeah.
actually.
This goes to
Those
show
many
you
more
when-
Marines and tanks coming.
When you try to stutter step micro with Road Ravager off of creep,
Yeah, with the Queens there kind of in
Yeah.
their way and stuff, everything just bottlenecked him. Definitely that turn towards Beyond.
I think Dark's still going to be fine though.
There's a lot of roaches
you know
on the
what?
way, but
Is he upgrading out of those? No?
he hasn't done. He just finished those upgrades, so he's
Okay.
got 1, 2, 2. All right, well,
Oh
comes
my
up,
God.
throws on some good vials.
Wait a minute, is Beyond just going to win this fight?
Yeah.
What?
Wow,
All right, wow,
that was
okay.
a crazy one.
That, all right. Good. But I thought I was.
Well, Dark, he took the fight really well at first, and then when he tried to go down to finish the rest of the tanks, he kind of got everything bottlenecked. He took way more damage. And he lost a bunch of his more long-term units, like the Ravagers, right? Also, like, I mean, throwing a couple Vipers in when you get to hide is always good. Again, I would have liked to see an Ultralisk Cavern there. I think that would have been a nice add and maybe helped.
I'll tell you what, man. Beyond wants to win this 3-0. He's got wrist pain.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's been playing a lot. He just won Aces Frog, so that's a ton of games to go through, right? Playing your absolute best against the best players in the world. Now here he is against the world champion. Day one Super Tournament.
Yep.
If he does win, he gets tomorrow off, or the next few actually a week off.
Yeah, because this is the first time he's done Super Tournament over the course of 2 weeks. Guys, as a reminder, we're on the GSL schedule, like Code's schedule as normal.
Yeah,
You watch
yeah.
Code's all the time. So it's going to be...
But our Saturday broadcast, I believe, starts later
That's right.
than normal Saturday broadcasts. It'll start at the same time.
But anyways, it's not going to be 4 days in a row. So, get your Day 2 GSL Code's Advent calendar out that you guys all have. Open it up, eat a little chocolate, and get ready.
Yeah.
I went to the grocery store near my neighborhood. There's a little import section. This grocery store I found near my new neighborhood. They had Advent calendars.
Yeah.
Do they have Advent calendars out here normally? for
I
Christmas?
don't know, but we got my kids Advent calendars.
Now, did they share one Advent calendar, or do they have...
We have 3 Advent calendars and like a makeshift one for the baby that's only 1 year old. Because obviously she
Okay.
can't have little tiny toys
So
that
the-
will come in an Advent calendar.
Okay, so the kids share that one, and then you have a bunch for yourself, right?
Yeah, man.
Because you're a grown-up, you can do whatever you want.
I can do whatever I want. And the thing is, I open all of them in front of the kids. They're like, why do we have to wait 1 a day? I'm like, I'm just going to open this whole advent calendar. And then I'm like, I don't like these toys, and I throw them away in front of them.
Oh my god, he's gonna get the
What a
Overlord.
kill.
Wow. Ouch. Ouch. I bought this advent calendar. So I was like, oh cool. It was like a this cheap kids thing. It was $20. It was important. I didn't even look at the price. I was like, oh cool. And I'm like, oh, all right.
What kind of toys are you getting?
I mean, it's just like little chocolates. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't even like chocolate. I don't even know why I got it, but you know whatever. I don't know.
At least it's not like little toys.
They did have Pop Tarts that I also bought. They turned out to be $17.
$17?
Yeah. This is one of the weird things you guys.
Pesos, I
you
got
guys
ice I
listen,
want to
you
sell you.
Yeah. Can you sell me water from your sink too, please?
Yeah.
No, this is the thing, man. There's things you can't get easily out here.
Dude, I will order Pop-Tarts for you off of Amazon for way less than that, but I want $20.
You want to cut, huh? Yeah. Well, I guess all I can do is say yes to that because I don't know how to use Amazon Artosis. It's too tricky. By the way, this game, besides the Overlord getting killed off, it's 3 Command Center right away. A nod to innovation. Now, let's not forget that Beyond has been an innovation fan before he was a GSL champion.
Of course, yeah.
Let's talk about that moment where Beyond had that giant innovation poster at the tournament that he won.
Don't
Against
forget,
SOS.
yeah.
Against old Seuss. Seuss Mick Protoss guy.
You know, it's really actually kind of funny when you think about it. Out of those the 4 Horsemen, he actually was in Season 1 as well, him and Maru.
Yeah, he was bogus back then.
No, the Innovation was bogus.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Innovation was still playing StarCraft 1 at the time, at the beginning of GSL. He was on the Kespa team, SCX.
Oh, that's right. God, it's also long ago.
Yeah, but Beyond and Maru both played in Season 1. And still are 2 of the top tiers. In fact, they just played in the finals of Aces Rock. How crazy is that? GSL Season 1 players.
Yeah. It's something else, man.
You know who else was in Season 1 of GSL Aces?
Who?
Me. Maybe
What?
it's time for me to win.
I remember casting
Why didn't
that.
I win Aces Rock?
I remember, yeah. I remember casting your Artosis. So, this game we have a bit of a push out here from...
Yeah, it's kind of a fun push,
There's
isn't
no
it?
Medivacs out here yet, but Stim's close to finishing. It seems like the ordering, the sequence of the build is a little bit different. This might be one of these things where you pop in.
You might just suddenly catch lanes running out or something, you think?
Maybe. There's actually historically in Terran builds oftentimes been these funny Stim builds where it's like you just get there way earlier. And they're like,
Oh, those,
what?
yeah. Those exist.
But it doesn't look like there's much he's going to find here with this. Yeah, he's coming out again.
It looks like he stimmed when he goes through
Yeah.
those Elbulas.
That's right.
Yeah, a couple Medivacs coming.
If you stim those Marines and run through that, you time travel to 2021. It's crazy.
You stim and run back through, you're like, oh no, it's even worse. Alright, so there's enough roaches. This is not going to... What? It's getting... Building armor?
That can't be right.
He's using one of his 2 eBays and it's for building armor? How does that...
No, that's a mistake.
I want it to be a build, though.
Yeah. We're suddenly there's just a bunch of buildings outside that Zerg's forth. He's like, I can't stop these buildings.
I can't kill him!
There's too much armor, GG!
You ever GG because something has too much
There's too
armor?
much armor.
Actually, yeah, I do, Dave.
Well,
That's really...
it's halfway
That's
down.
incredibly strange. Like, I would
got
imagine
2
he'd prefer
eBays.
to have 1-1 than building armor.
No, Artosis, open your mind up.
No,
Jesus.
Artosis, open your
Yeah.
mind up.
Can you try to understand what the programmers are doing?
I'm trying to start... Okay, just cancel it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the look on his
Oh.
face. Oh,
He should have let
man.
it finish, because then he could have just said in the interview, like, yeah, no, it's because of
He's
this
like,
and
you
this.
guys don't know that build?
You guys don't get building armor?
Terran win rates across the world crash as everyone
Yeah,
starts trying
yeah,
it.
Yeah,
Protoss gets nerfed again. Terran players cheer because Beyond saved them
Yeah.
once again.
yeah. Zerg players all quietly nod at each other in agreement. Don't say a word.
Oh, man. Well, that didn't work out. That's pretty painful. He
Well-
wanted his upgrades going for a really long time.
You know, among the things that you could miss that could completely screw up the entire rest of the game, it's missing 1-1 early on. Because then your 2-2 is later, your 3-3 is later, and a lot of times you can win StarCraft games just by doing all the right things in the build because they miss something. And right now we're seeing this with Beyond. And this is not a mechanical error. This is some kind of something happened back there because he also didn't have the other upgrade going to the eBay. So there's
Yeah, he
a very odd
something,
moment.
Something went wrong. We don't know what his hotkey setup is. We don't know if he clicks on eBays or has a hotkey or whatever.
You're at,
But that was painful. All right, well, we have the 3 Evo build here from Dark once again. So a very similar strategy to last time. His Hive is, well, it's on the way, about a third of the way done. And I want to see if he goes for exactly the same thing here. Because honestly, last game, it felt like he was actually doing better than Beyond until he went off creep.
well, yeah, he took a fight he couldn't
Yeah.
win. And
At the same time, though, I said it a couple times already, I would like to see an Ultralis Captain with it.
well, I think we're going to eventually have that. Again, Dark basically just deflecting every drop with ease here.
Right, second factory is going to be finishing up here for Beyond. You can get a lot more tanks that way. Hey, yeah, there's the Hydralis Cavern. Hydralis Cavern.
This has been
There's a
happening.
Hydralis Spire.
Yeah. There's the Zergling barracks. Like, what are we doing?
The Circling
Yeah.
Barracks. Oh, I love it.
Okay, so we're coming out now. And Terran's going to try to... I think Terran will actually just deny this location over here to the right. Does Terran
Yeah.
actually know this is here, by the way?
Well, should now.
Yeah, he'll find out. He'll be like, oh, nice.
Dark just gonna go ahead and cancel. That's nice leaving that there. All right, the Vipers are coming out. Dark's army. I mean, they have a similar army supply. Oh, look at this. A little drop up its side. He's gonna have to just pick that up pretty quickly, though.
Oh, God. Well, that was a mistake. This actually happened in the other game here as well. Beyond's going to keep trying to close in here. Again, this guy has some of the best micro ever.
By the way, I want to point out 2-2 would be done right now.
Yeah.
If he hadn't made those upgrade errors.
Yeah, I know. He's going to be feeling this until 3-3 is done. He is basically playing from a disadvantage because of this.
Game
Uh-oh.
Oof.
Uh-oh.
Probably wrist issues. We'll see.
So he's going to have a short break here.
Oh, he's not actually grabbing his wrist.
Artosis' wrists are in pain, I guarantee.
Yeah, no, I have no doubt. But you think that's what the pause is?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Tasis. I don't want to disappoint you.
Apology accepted.
Good. Thank God. But I'm going to go home and think about this conversation like 20 times in the shower and just be like, oh, did he really
You're going to be angry.
accept
You're
this?
like, you can talk to your wife. She's rubbing your back. I can't believe Taser talked to me like that. in the cast. Okay. So this, yeah.
She's like, I know, honey, but you were out of line.
He's apparently experiencing some extreme pain here. So he's paused. I'm not sure what the process is right now for this. I do believe we still end up issuing him a yellow card, I think, just because you can't pause. It's unfortunate, but those are the rules.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't think the yellow card actually means that much the first time it's issued, but
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's just like you have to have something in place
He has
so
to go
that
in the
people can't
gamer
just pause all the time.
yeah,
right?
you got to go to the gamer penalty box.
I heard
Yeah.
through the grapevine. Now, I don't know the full story that you had something having to do with the pause on your stream yesterday. Is that correct?
Yeah, no, actually, I had a PVZ for 40 minutes
Yeah.
against this Arrows player.
Yeah.
And there was actually a couch getting delivered to my house.
Oh, okay.
And so, like,
That makes sense.
So earlier on in the stream, the couch actually came and they brought it upstairs. I'm on the 4th floor of my building. There's no elevator, so it's like
Ooh.
it's kind of like a
Hope you gave those movers some water.
yeah,
pause.
yeah. You got to tip them. But they got up there and then they think it was not the couch I ordered. And I'm like, I can't.
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
so sorry, but this is not. It was actually like way bigger and it didn't. And I'm like, this is just not even what I bought. So they were like, can we come another day? And I'm like, I'm casting. You can't come tomorrow. I'm not going to be here. So they left. And so, anyways,
They left or they laughed?
they definitely didn't laugh, and they had to carry it back down and put it on a truck and leave. So then, anyways, I was streaming all day that day. So then, I actually thought they were probably just not going to be able to bring it, but they actually managed to get. So the doorbell rings.
Wow.
I paused this game, and I type like, wait, like please, it's for 40 minutes in, or maybe
Yeah.
maybe 35. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's like half the map. It's crazy. There's like reavers and shuttles flying everywhere. Storm drops. And darts.
Yeah.
And then I have to let the guy in. They come in, and I come back, and apparently this guy had unpaused the game, killed my army, and then paused it again. So it wasn't like I came back and I just, I'm like, wow, this guy's a piece of garbage. And so I come and I'm looking for my army that's not there. And
amazing.
I was basically just not okay for the entire day. Like I was just so angry.
Yeah, I understand.
I
that.
probably would have lost anyways, but
Still, that's it's funny to do that and pretty plus.
So we're back. I've been informed we gave you a warning. Here we go.
Yeah,
Wow.
Dark just rolling through that army. Ouch. He still has his medevacs. I'm not sure what his production looks like at home, but his supply is grossly outnumbered by Darks.
I think Zerk might just win the game, guys.
Well, it certainly is starting to look that way. Let's have these vials. Get some of them to connect. I'm definitely worried for Beyond, though, right? Like having
Well,
this much wrist pain that you're having to do multiple pauses. And
Not only
breaks.
that, but like I don't think he's going to win this game, so he's going to have to win a full game.
Yeah.
The CC just goes
That's a
down.
good point if you're
Planetary-
not 3-0-ing.
Yeah.
Like each game you play, it's like it becomes harder and harder. Really kind of sad to see. And Beyond's style, of course, is the one that requires like basically the most speed. He's very much
Right.
bio-focused.
Yeah, he's very mechanical. There's not that many micro players in StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
They're just like so good.
And Terran in general just takes a lot of APM. Like,
Sure.
Remember MVP actually, he was getting so many wrist issues. He actually switched his style and started playing like basically mech in all the matchups
Yeah.
that he could. Two of them, obviously, you couldn't really TVP with mech.
Is
but
his wrist better now? Do we know?
who?
MVP.
It must be because he's swole now.
Was he Jack now?
Yeah. He's
Well, guys, Beyond is trying to come back here, but I don't know if it's going to work. Dark is maxed out.
Yeah, Beyond still has a lot, right? He doesn't have his +3 attack on the way, but his +3 armor is on the way, so we know that he's making some more mistakes here. This has to be something that is emotionally hard to deal with as well. His micro definitely not looking as strong that we're looking at right here. I think he's going to GG.
I
go on
think
to
he
the next
taps out.
game.
But this is actually very worrisome here because I don't know how physically. Look at Beyond's face, by the way. He's not just pained in his wrist, but I think pained emotionally. And
For sure.
I think he knows exactly the dilemma that he's in, where it's like, oh my god, I'm in a best of 5. I was up 2-0. My wrist is really hurting. He
He is one of the best players in the world right now.
only a day
Tasis.
ago. Yeah, only a day ago.
Yeah,
And now he might be hitting a wall here.
he might.
Oh boy.
He's going to be
So
really
one
sad when
armor
he sees
upgrade,
that.
yeah.
I mean, 3-3 would have been done a while ago.
Yeah.
if he had.
You might as well get building armor now.
He just started the +3 attack.
Yep.
And the thing is, when you find something like that, it's like, oh my god, I'm doing everything wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think that Dark can just continue to push in. He has so much money, he can afford to not trade that efficiently. There's so much creep on the map, it doesn't seem like there's really any ideal location to push, right? Even though the place with the least amount of creep on the far right is in the way of this army. But hold on a second, maybe I'm going a little bit too far here. We're seeing Terran actually push back. And maybe there is some kind of a Hail Mary play here. I mean, honestly, the best... Oh, that's actually sick.
That's a nice catch.
Very nice. Yeah, but I mean, okay, another big catch here. There's only, like, 2 Banelings here.
Yeah, there's
So-
not many Banes. Yeah,
Well,
Beyond though, like you really do see that his micro is not the same levels we were seeing earlier. Obviously, not the same that we saw in Aces as well.
No, yeah.
So these attacks, it's like he's making armies send them across, and it's not quite there. It's really tough, you know. A big part of his power is his speed, his micro ability, and to have that hurt even a little bit.
Yeah, this is tough to watch. And I think also, I don't want to go too far here, but I think it's fair to say Dark knows exactly what's going on.
Of course, yeah, they have to tell him why it's paused.
Yeah, and so he's like, oh, all right, well, I'm not in any hurry to really end this then.
Yeah.
You know what I
Honestly,
mean?
he can play like kind of a slightly more defensive game, just do things that are hard to micro out of. How is Beyond going to do the multitasking that he needs to do, right? I feel like top form Beyond would have 2 more bases right now.
It's almost like you're letting the player just deal with the injury.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I saw this, I mean, I know almost nothing about UFC, but like I remember watching a UFC fight where the guy had kicked the guy in the leg so hard that he wasn't even doing that much after that because it's like it hurts to stand.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and just keep hitting him in the leg. It's almost like let the game go on longer and longer because Beyond's arm is going to be hurting more and more, right?
Yeah. It's a valid tactic.
I'm not saying that's what Dark's doing here now, but that is a reality, right?
If your opponent's having a hard time with something, you can exacerbate that.
Yeah.
And look, the fact that he's getting lurkers lengthen the game.
Yeah.
You just
I didn't actually notice that at the top.
Yeah.
You're right. He is getting lurkers.
you
That's
bury
like,
your lurkers, and it's like, okay, how is Beyond supposed to beat this? Well, either the game can go very, very long and we can basically mine up the map, or Beyond can start doing a lot of multi-pronged attacks and things like that to try to get around the lurkers. Both of those are things I think Beyond probably shouldn't want to deal with.
lurkers look like hedgehogs.
Yeah, they do.
They look kind of cute now. They're like doing a little sonic spin. Gotta go fast.
Yeah.
Gotta go. Ready? Gotta go fast. What a stupid line. Gotta go fast. Do you?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's Sonic the Hedgehog. Imagine not going fast. You're trying to go through the ring loop. You just go up the side of the wall, then fall off and get hurt.
And then then you're in a neck brace for 6 months.
Yeah, come on back. Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Right? Just reminding himself from that one time he didn't go fast.
Yeah. With me, Tails. Gotta go fast.
Oh, man, this lurker push.
Was Tails a boy or a girl, Fox?
I thought it was a boy.
I thought it was a boy. Knuckles a boy?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't know. The cartoon didn't have Knuckles as far as I can remember.
It didn't have Knuckles?
Did it?
I don't know. Yeah, they had a whole bunch of other animals.
Just Tails.
Okay, I'm not sure how much longer we're going to be in this. Supplies. Don't even tell the full story for how bad this is for Terran right now.
Yeah, he's in a bad spot for sure.
Uh-oh.
Is clearing these lurkers finally, but Beyond down to 40 workers. You know, he just doesn't really have the saturation. His economy is not there. He's down to 105 supply. I think he's got a GG, and honestly, with his wrist hurting, I feel like he should not be wasting any time in a game that's this
No, I
one-sided.
think you need to be like, I'm out.
Yeah, I think you got to really look at that and decide, like, okay, what's best for me? What's the best chance for
GG.
me?
Oh, man, look at Beyond.
Yeah, that's
He
it's
knows
tough.
this is like, then I think about this. Had he won pretty quickly there,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. You have literally a week off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can rest and recuperate. Okay, so Beyond still leads 2-1. Okay. Here is the thought process, I think, for Dark.
Yeah.
If you know that Beyond is in this type of pain and is not microing as well, his whole style is based off of his micro. I think right here is Dark. You are going to open up with something very safe. This would be the time I would be most afraid of, like, Proxy Barracks play.
Ooh, that's a good point. I hadn't actually thought about that, but you're right.
Proxy Barracks, possibly some sort of, like, Hellbat type of attack, right? Something
mean,
that's not APM intensive.
You
something
have
that's
to,
very
right?
strong.
You have to. Nice burp, Artosis. What do you think, Artosis?
That's what I think.
Yeah.
You should go frogs. Yeah, no, that's kind of my thought process here.
Pillars of gold. It could be pillars of salt, my friend.
Ooh,
If Beyond loses
don't
here.
look back.
Yeah, don't look back. Guys, it's all going to come down to this right now. Can Beyond win this, or are we going to go into risk
Game
hell?
start. Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Dark. Young.
Okay, so I want to reiterate a couple things here.
Yeah.
He's already paused once. Now, our rules are you can pause if there's a technical problem. In fact, if you watch like the first 2 or 3 seasons, there was this whole thing where people kept accidentally turning sound off.
Yes.
I can't remember what the hockey is for that, but
Control S.
Control S. And so it was like
easy to hit in a game,
It's very easy to hit, especially when nerves are on, and then you could turn the sound. So we had a lot of games where they would accidentally turn it off, and we can turn it back on, and they go, okay. But that is a valid reason to pause, right? There's something that's happened that even if it's a mistake, okay, that's out of your control, right? Monitor goes out or something, right? Maybe there's a light fixture. Again, this doesn't really happen anymore because this show has been on for so long. All the pros, most of the pros that are here are the ones that were playing from earlier. But, you know, maybe a light is too bright on your eyes. You realize, okay, I need that turned down because I can't quite see the screen. We do not allow pauses for something like wrist pain.
Yeah, something that is not like outside of your control to some degree. Like, for instance, if you don't have a hotkey done, that's a warning.
That's right. Yeah,
Because you can pause to
on
fix your
bad
hotkey.
hotkeys, yeah.
But that would result in a warning.
yeah.
Pausing because your wrist hurt would result in a warning.
I believe
as well.
if you had to go to the restroom, that would result in a yellow card as well. If you had to pause in the middle, I don't think it's ever happened because you could just go to the restroom in between games. But
Yeah.
And part of the reason is that like, and I completely believe that Beyond's wrist hurt, but just when you're running a tournament, you know, you can't. Someone could say my wrist hurts, I have to pause, and they're really
Yes.
thinking, oh my God, he's doing this weird strat. What do I do?
Of course.
And that's not happening here, of course. But
There's so many situations like that, like you say,
Yeah.
where people could abuse it, and that's why you have to give the warning.
it's one of the reasons why We have to have these rules, right? Now, Beyond's in a weird situation because this happened last time we casted him. Is he had to pause and we had to give a yellow card. Now, the first penalty, it doesn't really mean anything because we're not here to try to just punish players, but I don't know because I don't think we've actually had the second pause ever in GSL history. Have we? I don't think we ever
Second
actually
pause,
have two
no.
pauses in a series.
I don't think so.
So I don't even know what the rulebook says.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The players probably know. Well, especially when you get it, they probably let you. It's like, what happens if I have to pause again? Oh, you get a game loss. It's like, well, I'm not pausing.
Yeah.
No matter
No,
what.
exactly. So, again, we're just kind of putting all this out here because we're basically past the halfway point of this series. And I think, how long have we been playing for? I mean, this is like basically a series that's gone on for about an hour. It could go on for another 15 minutes. It could go on for another hour and a half. I mean, you know, TVZ especially sometimes can just go on forever. So
yeah, you can have some long ones.
So I mean, if he was in that much pain that he had to pause then, what happens now?
Yeah, no, it's a good point.
And keep in mind, guys, you know, playing through pain will exacerbate your problem. So this is like a real dilemma for Beyond here.
Yeah, it's not getting better right now. All right, so the Cloak Banshee on the way. Those have that medevac coming out.
Yep.
Couple Hellions. Okay, picks off a drone. Not too bad. Roach Warren is just finished up, and a Spine on the way as well. Looks like he's in position waiting for this medevac. Has enough units at the third base as well as 2 Hellions, can't do anything else.
Okay, he's pushed this away. Again, nothing dramatic coming out here for Zerg. And,
Yeah.
and you know, we mentioned there's possibility of a rush, but I didn't do it this time.
No, he did not.
I thought you were probably going to be spot on for that, honestly. When you said it, I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's going to be the play, but not the case. Banshees with Cloak, so he's going to just try to kill a lot of drones and get ahead in a long game.
Well, you got to give some credit to Beyond here, right? There's the third command center coming down. It's not some sort of callback build. It is not some sort of proxy barracks rush. He's sticking to whatever plans he had. He's playing his game. He's playing his style. He's manning his way through it, you know?
It's going to be rough, though. He starts to lose after this.
Yeah.
One of the things about inflamed tendons, too, is, you know, they become less inflamed over time. I mean, icing it, you know, and stuff like that can help, but, like, yeah, Beyond just played Aces Rock. So it's like, you know, and then the next day he's in GSL Super Tournament, so, you know, his stuff builds up over time. It's like you accrue pain, you know?
Yeah, you should definitely consider taking a break after
Yeah.
this. Well, all that being said, what is the state of this game? I mean, it doesn't look like heavily favored in one direction or the other.
No, I mean, honestly, this looks like a pretty generic Terran Berserk. It's like a typical TVZ
Yeah.
with good players. Like, nobody's got a lead. There's been some pokes and prods here, but, I mean, both sides are basically in the phase of development. We've got 2 Banshees coming through here, so I don't think a single Banshee's been killed yet. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
He's kept him alive.
I mean, maybe there'll be some opportunities for some great play there later on. You know, the Banshees can kill drones early on, but frankly, they're equally valuable for holding off Roach Ravager pushes later on.
Yeah, it's a very good point.
You can't really kill them with Ravagers.
Yeah, he has been favoring the Banshees a bit more, and it's just a kind of a good play against Dark, because what's he going to do, attack you with the Roach Ravager again? The Banshees just deal so much damage so quickly.
Yeah, and they're also very good at cleaning up the creep, and this may actually lead to a better position later on here. It's something we don't talk about a lot, but in a game like this where Dark pretty much dominates the map, even when players are trying to spend the whole time stopping him, but with Beyond's pushing looking very good. Then again, you know, Beyond might push out here and not be able to be as fast mechanically, and Dark just smashes him. You know, that's a real possibility.
Yeah. And it's not just you know, Beyond being in pain as well. Don't forget, Dark is one of the best Zergs in the world. So I don't want to paint it in that direction. A little bit of a different look on this strategy from Dark. It does look similar to what we've seen before. Hive Sting coming up. He does have +1 missiles and Carapace on the way, but it's slightly quicker Hive, and we don't see the 3rd evolution chamber for melee. So I think he's going to go into Lurker very quickly here. I think he's going to go Lurker Viper off the back of his Roach Ravager. And that, I mean, this could have to do with what we were talking about, right? If you just have a bunch of Lurkers burrowed, it takes a long time to kill a Zerg that's playing like that.
Yeah, that's very true. I think this makes sense. I think it's good anyways, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is. It is good anyways.
Sure. Okay, this is a pretty nice move. He comes in there, actually kills just a little bit, but again, Beyond has to be careful. Terran have to beat Zerg with a push. Unless we get to the game where the maps actually split. I think Beyond loses that anyways, just based off his current medical condition.
Yeah, probably right about that. Hive is finishing up. We should see a few Vipers being made. There's that Lurker Den. Still on the way here. Dark scouting around a little bit. Looks very solid for Dark overall.
These are very small numbers of units. But again, Beyond not overextending.
Yeah, he's just poking the edges just barely. And when he reads what is actually going on, it'll be interesting to see how he wants to approach it. I believe, yeah, he has 2 factory siege tank going on, so
yeah,
there is some potential of a full frontal push. But of course, Beyond is very good at multi-prong stuff as well.
Yeah.
I think he'll probably bring most of his army towards the bottom right, where the creep is the thinnest,
That's
and then have a
the best area
harassing
ahead.
force on the left side of the map.
I think you're right.
That seems like it would probably be the ideal way for him to try to deal with this. It's going to be tough, though. You're going to have to move around a lot to try to outmaneuver the Lurkers. They're just such a strong defensive unit.
Yeah. Cleans up a little bit of the creep. It's going to be hard to push up onto the high ground. I think he will probably go around through the low ground.
Yeah.
Because I just can't imagine winning through that other direction. And here comes, now this is the harass army. This is to try to draw most of the forces back. So he's going to be very attentive there. The real fight's actually going to be over here. I'm sorry, where are the tanks? Oh, here they come, right?
Yeah. Not that many over here right now, but he definitely has 2 or 4 at home. So
is Zerg going to attack before the creep dissipates? It doesn't look like it. Oh, here we go. Ooh, good job there, fighting back the Vipers. A second dive in.
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah, good yoink.
A second push comes in here, so it's going to be a half-half as far as attacking goes. He's going to have to abandon this.
Yeah.
Just eats those tanks.
Nice of Dux, but actually Bjorn brings the other reinforcements to his other group of units.
Oh
A
my
great
God.
call from Bjorn, and he is going to take down this hatchery.
Great play here, and here come the Banshees we were talking
Oh
about
my
earlier
God.
on.
He
And
is
Bjorn-
playing a nice game here.
He is playing nice game indeed. Comrade Artosis. Now, can Dark actually clean this up, though? I mean, he's dodging pretty well. It's 3 base to 3 base right now. Zerg's trying to remake this.
Can't get away with anything. Can't even speak for a moment. Sit here and cast for 5 hours straight with you. Say, miss one pronoun or something, I'm just done.
Okay, it looks like Dark's going to clean this up, but he's taking some losses here and there.
Look how killer these Banshees have been, by the
I
way.
know,
They've
they've
added a lot of damage.
Terran expands again and is regrouping. Now, the game plan might be pretty straightforward from Beyond here. He may try to just hit that 4th base over and over, and eventually Zerg's just dead. It's not the fanciest way to win, but it's probably the best way to win in this game.
Coming in here once again. One of these Liberators. Except that Lurker picks it off.
It's
Needs
working.
Files.
It's working, man. Here come the Lurkers, though.
Oh, that's a lot of Siege Tanks to run into with
Yeah.
Lurkers, I tell you.
Yeah, the Siege Tanks will get their shots off first, and I think they're going to win. Oh, nice. Nicely done. Pulling some of those tanks forward, but I still see a lot of Terran presence here.
Oh man, that tank on the low ground is actually killing him at the moment. But Beyond's still microing very heavily. It looks like he is going to end up being able to push off the hatch.
Oh, he's got to be careful with these Marines here. He does pull away. The hatchery goes down again. You can't lose his hatchery that many more times. In fact, we're really starting to see ground gain here. You know, there's not quite enough Ravagers to pick off the Liberators, the tanks, especially as reinforcements come in here. Uh-oh.
And you know what?
There's a big counter coming up
Yeah.
here.
Beyond does have a 4th base set up during this time.
Yeah, right at 12 o'clock.
And that is important because he's growing, and right now Dark is shrinking. So Dark comes over. Ooh, nice Liberator does force him to turn around immediately. Gets a few extra shots as well. Beyond just running up, stimming, trying to engage. These Vipers are here, so this is still, it's hard to clear. Look at that, the SCV's just running to the side. Dark has potential for a lot of damage here.
Yeah, this was pretty crazy. Now, this is actually a really brilliant move here by Dark to just switch the game over to this part.
He needs to get these SCVs. Oh, yeah, look at that, running through the Lurker spines. And he's going to kill off a huge amount of Beyond's workers.
Yeah, and it seemed like we were so close to possibly having Beyond win, but this very decisive play, realizing that there's really no defense back at home. Beyond's push is scary because he's throwing everything at him. And suddenly the Lurkers are in a great position. Dark double expanding to try to really bounce back from this.
This was a really painful thing for Beyond. You can see he just made fish lips there. Probably trying to figure out how do I actually maneuver. Like, he needs to push his units back, but actually Dark does it for him. Gonna go ahead and withdraw, get into a more defensive position. Looks like he left just 3. This could be whole position Lurkers, unsure about that.
I really didn't expect this from Dark. I felt like Dark was going to just try to cling to that base, but this is such a good move here. You know, the Lurkers are able to get over there so quickly. Oh my God,
Oh, man.
Artosis, I can't believe my eyes. You know what's funny? They weren't quite in the right spot for that to be as good as they could have been. They were actually
around it.
surrounding it. Yeah, but it's still.
Okay, watch this, though.
Oh, get ready.
No! No! This one's going to be much better than the last one.
He's like, I'll just try to build a
Okay.
turret. That's weird. Okay.
Well,
Those aren't Brood War Lurkers. Those aren't StarCraft 1 infantry. We'll tell you that, man.
That is for sure. He'd be about 4 supply right now.
Yeah.
We're
I've seen those games with yours. I've seen some of those moments, man, where it's just like everything explodes. It suddenly becomes a gore film.
All right, so the whole position Lurkers, I mean, I think they did well enough, and Dark is maxed out, moving across the map right now, tons of Lurkers. Just going to run into this, the Liberator and the Planetary and the Siege Tank. You know what, let's just yank it all towards us.
Again, another base is going to get wiped out here. It feels like Beyond is very close to losing this game.
Yeah.
If he's not dead already. Dark, just absolutely brilliant play. He was in a very dire situation earlier, but he saw the weakness, he saw the counterplay, and now there's just not enough tanks. These Lurkers can leapfrog their way to Dark's victory.
Now, Beyond is trying his own counterattack here.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be enough, though. I
No,
think that Zerg
yeah.
just hatches the answer.
I think you're right about that. He has too much supply. He still has a bit of a bank, whereas Beyond is almost out.
GG. Wow. Game 5. Incoming.
Very, very solid play there from Dark. Obviously, you know, there is this whole story of Beyond and his hurt wrist looming over the match, but
Yeah.
don't forget, I mean, Dark is the world champion. You can't really take this away from him, right? That was some very solid play, a great counterattack.
Look at
Beyond pulled a lot together there, man. Played his normal style. I thought he made an amazing decision how he brought the first 3 tanks in bio down the right side of the map, and he had his harassing force on the left, but then he reinforced the left because so much attention went to the right.
Right.
And he
Right.
started to seesaw the game towards him. He killed that hatchery multiple times. It was a really nice game, but Dark with that counterattack, he just outpositioned Beyond. He killed basically all of his SCVs, got the command center, got the position, got Beyond to sit back and play defensively.
I don't know what to expect now from Beyond here. I mean, obviously, if you're just now joining us, Beyond's already paused once because of wrist pain. This isn't the first time, even in recent castings of our castings of him, that he's had problems with his wrist. It's been a long series, and one can only imagine that as each minute passes, in which Beyond has to be clicking and producing and playing the game, the pain will only increase.
You would imagine.
Does he rush? It seems like it is the most obvious move. Then again, how much pain can one endure?
Well, with Beyond, we know it's a lot. We've seen it before.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. Bjorn was dominating in the first 2 games. He's now lost the last 2. And by the way, he looks considerably different, the play at least.
Yeah, I think he
Like-
pulled parts of that game
Yeah.
together, but the game before, you could see the degradation of his play.
Yeah. He might lose. This happens, man.
Yeah, of course. It's a big problem. I
This-
hope that
this
it's something you can work
sucks.
on in the future. Well, the thing is, he's one of the most exciting players to come back, right? As so many players are leaving for military, we
Yeah.
have some coming back like Bjorn. Bjorn is back on top of the world.
He's
just
also
won
one of
Aces
the
Rock.
really emotional players. You know, you can see the joy when he wins. You can see the pain when he loses. But you can also see the pain when his wrists are inflamed. So
Yeah.
this is a tough moment, man. I'm kind of rooting for him more now than even when we started, just because that's a tough way to go. Dark is playing very well, by the way. He is part of the story here too. It's not just
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
it's just Bjorn, back from the military. He's an ex-world champion, just like Dark is a current world champion.
Right.
The whole wrist thing, of course, as you said, he's got a great personality that people really connect with, a very fun style. But just the fact that he just won Aces Rock is just such a big deal, right? Has anyone ever beaten Serral and Maru in the same tournament? I don't think so. I don't think that's happened before. But it's impressive. We know that his top form is good enough to win this tournament. Can he bring that form together right now? Can he win Game 5?
I hope so, man. How will he win it, though? I feel like you have to rush, but, like, that's the most obvious thing. And it's not even like a mind game. It's like, well, I mean, how much... You're going to play worse the more pain you have.
Well,
Unless it's like Rocky or something. He
pain
just
helps.
gets mad and wins then? I'm like, what? I don't understand anything.
Rocky's a great movie, don't you, Tucker?
He's just
Game
mad. He's
starts.
like, just comes back and dominates?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Is that how it works?
Dragon
All right.
Phoenix Gaming. Dark. Young.
Let's see it. He's not going proxy. He's going to stick to the plan.
No!
He must have killed it in the army, man. Just sticking to the plan.
Wait, I'm sorry, what'd you say, Artosis?
He said he must have done great in the army, man. He's sticking to the plan,
Yeah.
fighting through the pain.
Well, it's going to be very sad if Dark crushes him, even though I think, Dark is a great player. He might have won anyways. Like,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, no matter what happens here, it takes away from Dark.
Mhm.
Either
It's
he
sort of an
beats
unfair-
Bjorn because his wrists hurt, or like he loses to a guy who has hurt wrists. It's
Right,
terrible. It's
yeah.
either way.
it's a sucky position to be in for sure.
And I mean, he's Dark though. He's a GSL champ, a world champ, amazing Zerg player since 2015, one of the best in the world.
This has been one of my favorite parts of the StarCraft 2 storyline, though, is people coming back and playing so well. And also, I think just in general, seeing pros age and actually be better than before.
Yeah,
Where
it's
there was
very
this whole completely ridiculous belief system out here that, like, after the age of 20 or something like that, you can't compete.
Yeah, no,
In the
I
early days
agree
when we
with
moved
that.
out here.
My favorite story along those lines right now is DRG and how he has come back now, revamped his style. You still see his style in there, but it's like revamped. And he got top 4, and he's older than Nestea was. Nestea is the oldest champion we've ever had across both StarCrafts. So that's like, for me, I'm like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Of course, Bjorn, he's also kind of given us these insane stories that you really want to root for. Oh, that micro.
Okay, those Lings have
3 very red
served their
ones.
purpose. Yeah.
One
The Queen
die.
pops out. Yeah, but this is a tough one here. Now, again, if Bjorn wins, I think he's going to have enough downtime that his wrist can recover. He can stretch it out, and
I hope so, yeah.
yeah.
Needs that rest.
So we're still waiting to see exactly what the tech is going to be here for Bjorn, and the same is true for Dark here. We don't know yet, and I don't think you know either. Does the rule if it's the second pause? And I don't think Dark. Or sorry,
Since
Bjorn
we've
would
never
pause.
seen a second pause, I would imagine it's a
Yeah,
second pause.
I would think so. It was something like they get 4 more pauses. I'm like, what?
Yeah, because if you were allowing more than that, I mean, I'm sure someone would have already thought of the strategy of pausing to ruin your
Yeah.
opponent.
Okay, so here comes that Roach Warren here.
Yeah, that's a pretty darn quick Roach Warren.
Well, Dark is known for a lot of times in all of the casts where we say maybe somebody's going to rush Dark. Sometimes Dark is the guy that ends up doing the rush.
Yeah, he does have that aggressive streak.
Yeah, especially when everything's on the line. It's very funny.
The best Zergs generally do have the aggressive streak in them.
Yeah,
The guy who can't be named, Rogue, Dark.
all very aggro.
Yeah, they all have a lot of aggressive plays.
Oftentimes too.
Yeah. That's I wouldn't consider him a champion, but yeah, And nowadays, Serral is more aggressive too. He definitely
true.
mixes in more aggression, even though when he won his championship, it definitely felt much more macro-esque.
Another pickup here. He's going to try to collide into the main.
Another cloaked Banshee coming out of.
I like
out of
this thing that Dark does a lot of times where he just sends the Queen a little bit off creep because he knows there's stuff waiting there.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
smart.
I know where you're going to hide.
Mhm.
You're going to be just up. So you can send him off there, and sometimes the Queen is buff enough that it can just...
Yeah, it could kill it.
Shoot
It
damage.
stretches the attention of Bjorn as well.
Absolutely.
Because it's Dark who's initiating with that, right?
Yeah. I think we've seen it especially in the series here where it's like, okay, this is like a new little thing Zergs can do. Just pick a fight, weaken them up. Here's the double eBay. Everything signals that Bjorn is in this for a long
Yeah.
macro game.
Of course he's
And I'll tell you
every
what he's not going to do this game, get building armor.
What if he does, though?
He goes halfway and cancels it and shakes his head. And I'm like, are we in Groundhog's Day?
Well, if we were, he should have taken like 50 days off in a row to heal the wrist and then,
Yeah.
and then played.
We find out he's really good at ice sculpting, but not StarCraft. We're like, what are you doing? You know, the only way to end Groundhog's Day is to get into the round of 8 of Super Tournament, right?
That would be. God, I wish Groundhog
Not trying to convince
Day
that
would happen
boring
to me,
Midwestern
Texas.
girl to love you. And what are you doing, man?
Oh, jeez.
Spire coming down now, Artosis.
Yeah, very different from what we've been seeing.
So Dark gonna mix it up here.
All right, Byun coming down. He does not have building armor on the way. A lot of roaches being made. A couple evos for Dark as well.
Stim is finishing up. Terran is. This is gonna be the moments where Terran can actually try to initiate. Most of it will be trying to get rid of creep. Again, these two unit comps, the roaches are almost always, unless there's some weird exception where there's a stray roach or a stray queen. The Zerg army is stronger, but the Terran army is more nimble. And so the Terran army pops around to different locations. And really, it's this, if you look at it like on the mini-map, it's like the Terran trying to hit almost 180 degrees of different creep, try to keep that contained. And that's only because Terran later on has to win with a push, and Zerg gets being so fast on the creep. You want to have that as slow, you want to have as little creep on the map as possible so that you can actually win a fight.
You know, I want to say I kind of like this idea from Dark. He's shown the roaches that he just continually is using. He hasn't gone Spire at all, right?
Yeah.
And each and every game, Byun has gone into double factory siege tanks to help deal with the Roach Ravager that Dark is so known for and so good at. But the fact that he's going into Mutas here, this could really catch him off guard, right? Generally against like a Lingbane Muta type of play, you'll want like Marines with mines. Now, I don't know if he's going to commit heavily on the Mutas or not, right? He doesn't have that many yet. 7 Mutas flying around, that's not that big a deal.
7 Mutas coming through here. Doesn't look like there's that many weak spots here for Byun defensively. Oh, I guess there's actually nothing over here.
Yeah, that's some
at the
decent
natural.
damage.
Pretty good. Back on the Zerg side of the map, the 4th base is up. Upgrades are continuing to be cranked out as the roach count does grow. This is a more narrow map, and the push distance isn't actually that bad. But we'll see. It seems like on this map, especially the bottom right, Zerg can take that. Terran probably can't do anything about it.
Yeah. You know, we saw, another Evolution Chamber popped up as well, too.
Yep.
So he's actually going into all 3 upgrades
3-3.
while going Muta, Ling, Bane, Roach, Ravager. That's not even a composition. That's just the name of all the units before Infestation. So I'm not sure exactly what the strat is right now, but...
Well, here comes his push now.
All right, throws down some very good vials right there. Oh, no, he missed that other siege tank. He got one of them, though.
Yeah, that's actually pretty big.
Yeah, it is.
Right now, the Hatchery's at half health. Is he gonna sack it, or will he try to fight for it?
I don't think you can save that.
Baneling speed's not done. Oh, hold on.
Oh, he's coming up with
He
the
thinks
Mutas.
otherwise, Artosis.
Yeah, I guess so. He might actually end up doing it here with that Muta sacrifice.
Is this too much, though? He takes that out.
Now back up to the creep.
I think he actually held it. But Byun is not finished yet. We're going to need to see more Banelings. Actually, the second push could still kill this. I think there might just barely be enough here for Terran. Let's see.
Well, there's a lot more lings coming out right now.
He
Ooh,
did
some good
eat one
vials.
bile shot. He is gonna, oh my god. Right now, it's like Dark is barely holding on, but I think Byun is overextended here. I think he does not have a foothold here to push from anymore.
Yeah, he has to back up for now.
Yeah, and you can see that's very clear because of the pickups.
He's going to fly back for 3 Mutas. Going to do a little bit of damage to his medevacs. Not that much of a punish.
They can target this medevac.
Got one of them.
Can he actually do damage?
I think he can't stay here too long.
Well,
just reinforcements should be
I think
enough
it's
to knock
only
this out.
Lings, man. It's only Lings coming up here. He can actually get away pretty quickly with that that speed thingy there.
Speed thingy?
Yeah, that's a technical term for it. Now,
The healing cylinder. It looks like everything in it is being healed.
I actually think he could take this out, man.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah, this is just way too much here.
Those
Now, the
reinforcements very scary.
Ravagers are sort of pinned over here on the side. Ouch! He takes a lot more shots there. No, I think this is over.
Yeah, it really is starting to look that way. Byun microing his heart out, but his wrist maybe not able to help. A bunch of biles go down. A ton of damage here to Byun.
Yeah, this is pretty brutal, man. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. I think Byun's lost his game. Dark coming back.
You can see the look on his face here as well as he knows that he's just taking too much damage.
Yeah.
Byun lower than 100 supply. Dark very near max right now.
Yeah, Ling's just spilling from the south up into the north. SCD is using to defend, but even that won't be enough. GG, Dark takes it.
Yeah. Nice victory for Dark. A sad
Damn.
one for Byun. What can we say that we haven't said, you know?
It's sad, but I also think Dark played incredibly. And Byun, I don't know, man. I mean, it's rough. You're at times the best player, but only when your wrist can endure the pain.
Yeah, Dark going over and consoling Byun a little bit. He knows what's going on. It's a rough thing for Byun. But you know what? He's having a good comeback here still. Hopefully he can rest up a bit. There's no other big StarCraft like right now for him.
Yeah.
I just hope he takes a little bit of time off. I know that Byun is a big time grinder. He will play and practice constantly, but got to take care of that wrist issue.
There's nothing else to say, man. We're going to go to the next phase of the round of 16. Zest versus SOS will be up next.